that unite a group, create a following. In American sporting lore, the Trojan warrior is that symbol. It has been a crest for champions. Young men who have electrified the masses. Young men who branded USC a national football power. In American sporting lore, the glow of the Golden Dome has been a beacon of excellence. This symbol of competitive fervor has transformed ordinary men into national icons. Young men with a passion for glory, carving out Notre Dame's legacy of greatness. These two national symbols of sporting supremacy have engaged in sport's most telling dramas, creating a national rivalry, one that transcends the boundaries of its own domain.
Tomorrow, it doesn't take 10 blocks on offense, it takes 20 blocks on offense. Tomorrow, it doesn't take 10 tackles on defense, it takes 30 tackles on defense, but we beat Southern Cal.
While words have sparked this rivalry, its on-field heroics have been the stage for some of college football's greatest theater. The first meeting took place more than 60 years ago. The Irish were the victor, 26-13. In 1931, USC's national championship hopes were realized. A game-winning field goal was a decisive margin. 30 years later, Ara Precision led his #1 ranked Irish against John McKay's Trojans. It was USC's 13 unanswered points that derailed Notre Dame's bid for a national title. 13 years later, Notre Dame pulled off a Trojan horse of their own. Green jerseys ignited the Irish to a stirring victory. 7 years ago, #1 Notre Dame in search of their 11th national title, while #2 USC had different thoughts. It was the 24th time in history the nation's two top teams would do battle. This time, Notre Dame prevailed on their way to the national championship. Today begins a new chapter in this storied rivalry, where USC continue their climb on the strength of a Heisman hopeful. Will their dual field generals continue their early season success? Will Notre Dame use this rivalry as a catalyst? Will their leader remember the moments that ignite the hometown faithful as his #1 receiver awaits delivery and the opportunity to celebrate their combined success? Regardless of today's outcome, one thing is certain. Two schools with unequal national pride are ready to commence battle. USC and Notre Dame, a rivalry filled with respect, a true American tradition. 17 Notre Dame. Notre Dame has dominated this series recently. The weather a factor. We talked about it. For more, here's John Dockery. John?
You know, Charlie, I agree with Randy Cross that weather means turnovers, and USC hasn't had many, but it is really cold down here. It's in the 30s, wind chill probably around 32 degrees. They actually even mentioned the possibility of snow flurries. The wind is really the problem, though. It's gusting up to 25 miles an hour, so that could have an effect on the sophisticated passing game of USC. So I think weather neutralizes talent. In the overall, I think it affects and it actually favors Notre Dame. Back to you, Charlie.
All right, now the University of Southern California as they wait to come out of the tunnel here at Notre Dame Stadium, led by John Robinson.
John Robinson, and this is his third year back as ASC coach. He has put together, I think, one of the top 5 programs in the United States, and he's putting on the field today, I think, physically the most talented football team in America.
And he loves the tradition of this rivalry. When we talked to him about it, he said, that's what it's all about. It's for the former players, it's for the alumni, it's for everybody to get involved.
Well, he also mentioned that the best memories you'll have after you leave USC will be of games like this when you win, because you prefer not to remember the ones when you don't.
And now we await the entrance of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
You see the emotion on the field from the Irish now. Against Ohio State, they maintained that emotion for 2.5 quarters. To have any chance of beating SC in a straight-up physical football team, Lou Holtz knows that emotion must maintain for the entire four quarters.
And still recovering from the surgery, Lou Holtz is upstairs in the press box, and we'll be back with today's kickoff after these messages and a word from your local station. Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium, the pageantry of college football. Notre Dame, they win the toss, they defer, and so the University of Southern California will receive. And that means that number 2, Chris Miller, and number 80, Larry Parker, are the deep backs, and kicking off is the freshman from Hollywood, Florida, Kevin Kopka.
It also means Notre Dame takes the win, and John Robinson's Trojans will be throwing into the wind to start this game off.
And we are underway. And here is Larry Parker. Parker to the 20, out to the 26-yard line. The junior from Tumwater, Washington, the quarterback for the University of Southern California. And now we'll set up his offense. A look at his line.
Well, especially on that right side with Pounds and Garrido. These are two big, huge offensive linemen. SCS established the run against this defense.
And the backs and receiver. We're set to go. First down, SC. They open with a play action fake deep over the middle. Tight end Johnny McWilliams. And just as you suggested, Randy, this will be the key. 23 yards on the opening play.
Well, we talked about at halftime of the NBA show earlier about the importance of the non-skilled people, the fullbacks, the pick and shovel guys, the tight ends. And this is the best tight end in the United States right here, Johnny McWilliams. This is a guy that causes great mismatches physically and speed-wise.
First down at the 47-yard line. Now to the ground. And it is DeLon Washington. He's going to pick up a yard to the 48. It will be second down and 9. The front 3 of the Fighting Irish.
And you saw the man, Paul Grass-Manis, in the middle. It's great to see him back healthy. He's a big key running the ball.
Linebackers in secondary.
Watch for the freshman, Corey Minor on the outside. A little undersized, but they need him for pressure on the quarterback rushing.
Terry Barnum, the fullback. DeLon Washington, the tailback. Play action fake on the throw deep over the middle. It is incomplete. Keyshawn Johnson, the intended receiver. He had pressure, and he underthrows him. 3rd and 9.
You know, Keyshawn Johnson, 6'4", 210 pounds. Where he's the best, I think, is short passes. Down the field, he's a huge threat, obviously, with his speed and his size. But he has the ability, much like a Jerry Rice or a Michael Irvin in the pros, to catch a 5 to 6 yarder and take it the other 50 to 60 yards.
Rodney Sermons is the remaining back, and Keyshawn Johnson is in the backfield, and he will come across in motion. Change of defensive coverage on 3rd and 9, and he is just dumping it. Auden had pressure, did not want to take the loss. Johnny McWilliams was close, but he is avoiding the loss and the stand by the defense of Notre Dame.
Well, in the first 2 plays, Charlie, first it was Ronaldo Wynn getting pressure on the quarterback. Then it was young Corey Minor, the freshman we talked about earlier, getting just the jersey of Auden and putting him down on the ground and making that pass go off.
The return man is Scott Solomon. Normally we expect to see him at Mosley. And the kicker is John Stonehouse. He's a good one. Could make the All-American team. Would be the first All-America kicker with the Trojans. Oh, it's a good one. It hits on the 5 and will go into the end zone. For the touchback, will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Jesse Davis trying to down it for SC. All we need now at Notre Dame Stadium, the Beach Boys and Surfing USA.
Talk about reinforcing a stereotype. You know, for sure, dude.
All right. Here's the quarterback at Notre Dame, Ron Paulus, 6'2", 217 pounds. He's the junior. He is the leader of the offense for Notre Dame. There is no question about that.
Well, I think this is a guy we mentioned in the opening, Charlie. This is a guy that carries the weight of this offensive football team on his shoulders. John Robinson said, I don't focus everything on my quarterbacks. Lou Holtz has all the proverbial eggs in that basket right there, having the number 3 jersey.
Mark Edwards is his fullback, and Audrey Denson, the tailback, his second start. First down, Notre Dame, 20-yard line. No score in the ball game in case you just joined us. And here's the fullback, Mark Edwards. Edwards is going to pick up a yard to the 21. It'll be second down and 9. And here is that Notre Dame offensive line.
Well, Justin Ziegler, the best offensive lineman, did not practice all week long.
Backs and receivers.
Well, Emmett Mosley starts at the wideout. That gives him more speed. That gives him that quick short pass breakaway speed.
Second down and 9. Showing a passing formation and taking a lot of time. And instead they come back with the running play. And it's Denson. There's really nothing there. Darrell Russell, the defensive tackle from St. Augustine High School in San Diego, is there to meet him.
This is a sophomore. This is a man right here, Russell. Look at the matchup with the senior Ryan Leahy. Smack, throw. You got to look up and look much 96 all day long. You're going to have to double team this guy. You do not block him with one man.
320 pounds, but his waist is 40-inch, his thighs 32, his calves are 22 inches. Third down and 8. Wallace punt. Has a man open, diving reception, first down. It is Emmett Mosley in 15 yards as Notre Dame converts on third and 8.
And that's what an Emmett Mosley brings. When things break down and Paulus has to move around, with Mosley's speed, he can create gaps and holes in a defense.
First down at the 37-yard line. Mosley with 2 touchdowns this year. Remember the Navy game last year? He rushed for 4. Here's a sweep to the near side. Nothing there for Denson. Cuts back up. Finds a few yards on his own. Phillips finally makes the tackle as we check out the Trojan defense in the front 5.
And this is one of the top defenses against the run, mainly because inside, Gage is 300 pounds plus, Darrell Russell 300 pounds plus.
Linebackers in secondary.
Well, take a look at the cornerback. Dalen McCutcheon out at the cornerback position is going to be rotating around with Quincy Harrison, and look for that matchup when Ron Paulus sees Mays on him.
Second down and 4. 12 minutes and 12 seconds time remaining first quarter. We have no score. The University of Southern California and Notre Dame. Wallace on the pitch. That's Denson. Denson is cut down right at the line of scrimmage. Quincy Harrison moving up from defensive corner and makes his stop for USC.
Watch 41, Brian Haas just comes shooting through on this play. Just a great read by a linebacker. It reads sweep. He sees linemen pulling. He fills the hole. That's the kind of defensive attack that makes the Trojan, I think, the #3 rushing defense in the United States.
Derek Mays, number 1. Emmett Mosley, number 5. They are at the top of the screen. They are wide to the right. Third down and 4. Wallace looking right. It's a middle screen. It is set up perfectly. Pete Kriplevich, the tight end, has the first down. So for the second time in the drive, on a third down situation, the Trojans convert, and both times they pick up 15 yards.
And another one of my pick and shovel guys, Kriplevich, left tight end, set up very well and sold by the offensive line. And Paulus, you know, these guys aren't fancy. What they are is they're big and they're reliable. Kriplevich at tight end, Edwards at fullback. These are just solid, bloody-your-nose football players.
First down, 42-yard line. SC territory, stumbling, falling. This was the beginning of an option. Wallace was going to fake the handoff and then to run the option down the right side and pitch. And trust me, he will pitch because he told us, I'm not a running back. I'm not here for a run for 1,000 yards. We have other people to do that. I'll pitch it to them.
When you have an option run by Notre Dame, there are 2 options. One is that Ron Paulus is going to end up eating the ball and get smacked. And the other one is he's going to pitch it. There's not much of an option to the defense.
Mark Edwards, the fullback. Autry Denson, the tailback. Denson on the draw. Has the room. 40, 35. Nice inside-out move. Out of bounds at the 31-yard line. 14 yards. yards, and he is going to pick up the first down by about a half a yard.
You're going to see why, Charlie. This young freshman is starting today against the Trojans. Look at the speed. There are blocks being made. They're not great blocks, but the young man's speed enables him to get into the open areas. That's why Lou Holtz is enamored with this young guy. He doesn't have the size really to carry 40 times.
Check in with John Dockery.
You know, Charlie, right after this play, I want to comment. Lou Holtz is up in the press box, and he told me something about play calling. Right after this play, I'll tell you what he said.
Okay. First down, 31-yard line. Looking right, going, overthrowing, pass too tall for Evan Mosley, and he was open in the right flat. Let's go back down to John Dockery.
And, Charlie, you know what? I talked to Lou Holtz before the game, and he said he's going up in the press box because of chance of injury on the sideline. But he also said, you know, when I'm up there, I have a better view of things, and I tend to be more creative in my play calling, and that's what you've seen from the Irish. I don't remember seeing a screen to the tight end or a draw this early in a game, so they may be more creative on offense because Lou is up there.
He also said this week, when I drive with a neck brace, I come to a stop sign, I can't turn my head, I honk a lot, and then I go straight through. Here's the option to the near side and the pick. And again, it is Autry Denson down the sideline. They're going to mark him out around the 24-yard line.
Ball behind him. Now watch on this option. We talked about the fact that Paulus is either going to get smacked or he's going to pitch it. Look at him draw the defenders to him. The defenders are drawn to Paulus. I don't know why. He's not a running threat. The only thing that is a threat that when he starts running is a threat that he might get hurt.
And he makes no bones about it. You're right. 23-yard line. No score in the ballgame. Just over 10 minutes left in the first. Third down and a couple. First back through is Edwards. He leads. He's got a 20-yard line. Mark Edwards, the number 2 receiver, and the number 3 rusher for Notre Dame, Scott Fields, with the stop.
Yeah, I really like this young Edwards. Not young, he's a junior, but Edwards reminds me a lot of a guy I played with in San Francisco, Tom Rathman. He's got the flat top and the whole package working. He's good out of the backfield. He loves to block, and he'll get you the tough yards.
We had a couple of flags on the play. Rathman and John Riggins are the players that he admires.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. Penalties canceled. We have first down.
There's the face mask. That's one of them.
Well, you get in my face mask, I'll get back and get into yours. Hey, that's the kind of game it's going to be for Derek Mays. They are going to physically get in his face and challenge him. In that case, it was Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly has been out the last few weeks at corner with a bad ankle, but he's returning to rotate with McCutcheon and Harrison at the corners.
Remember, he said a dead ball foul. That was after the play. So the play stands just outside the 20-yard line, and it is a first down for Notre Dame. They started this drive at their own 20. This is the 12th play of the drive. Here's Denson, right side, slips the tackle, but the second man gets him. Sammy Knight made first contact, then Micah Phillips brought him down.
Well, if you're on the SC side of the field worrying about the defense, you've got to be fairly concerned at the fact that Notre Dame has gotten the corners on John Robinson's defense so far, and that's a little bit surprising because Notre Dame as a team does not have the speed that the SC defense has. Notre Dame's forte against SC has been in the past over the last decade or so, pounding in the middle with a physical fullback running game.
Second down and 11. SC has had the ball one time, a long first down of 23 yards and 3 and out. Diving reception by Derek Mays, and he has it at the 9-yard line. Quincy Harrison covered him. He has 13 in the first at the 9.
Well, look at the cushion that Mays is getting here. That's an awful lot of respect from the SC defense. And in case you were wondering what Mays has been doing, he's been a decoy, he's been in fights, and he's the first one to warn a defender, you're better off not getting in my face and challenging me, because that gets me more fired up than anything else.
His 39th reception on the year. He averages just over 5 a game, and he averages 102 yards a game. First down and goal to go. Here's Edwards. Helmet to helmet, touchdown Notre Dame. Whoa, 9 yards of just physical touchdown.
Look in the football dictionary. Look up the term fullback. What's the job? You got to block, and you got to be physical with the ball. Half that SC defense had a shot at Mark Edwards there. He ran right through it.
Kevin Kopka will attempt the point after, and we have whistle. 8 minutes and 38 seconds. That is the time remaining in the first quarter. This is only the second time this year that USC has been behind in a ball game.
They've actually given up most of their points, Charlie, coming into this game in garbage time, late fourth quarter, middle of fourth quarter, when they've had significant leads.
An 80-yard touchdown drive by Notre Dame. Stafford is the holder, and he hooks it. He pulls it to the left. It is no good. So Kopka misses the extra point attempt. That is the second one that he has missed this year. Here's the touchdown.
Bruising, bloody nose, physical, in-your-face fullback. And the plant foot area for Kopka. His left foot will slide. And when that left foot slides on a kicker, instead of really being a solid plant, 9 times out of 10, that's a yank.
Notre Dame's first opportunity on offense, 80 yards on the drive, 14 plays. They lead 6-0. And remember that the University of Southern California has allowed a total of only 10 points this year in the first half. All right, Chris Miller and Anthony Bolson set for the return. It is high, and it is short, and it's going to be taken by one of the upbacks down the far side. And SC is going to go to work around the 27 or 28-yard line. Let's see where they spot it when we come back. We're going to step aside here at Notre Dame Stadium. The Irish are up 6-0.
The temperature continues to drop. The wind chill must be around freezing. And as you look along the sidelines of USC, you see all the players here coming from the warm climate. They're all wearing capes, where on the Notre Dame sideline, you don't have much in the way of that heavy wear. Why, it's even so cold that cheerleaders from USC are here with blankets and covering. Obviously, they're feeling the cold. Back to you, Charlie.
And the weather, a big factor in the ballgame. You talked about this earlier, Andy.
We haven't seen the turnovers yet, but if it gets wet, you will.
The second back through is DeLon Washington for USC. He has 3 yards from the 27 to the 30-yard line. It will be second down and 7. Washington on the carry.
Charlie, I've talked about the fact that John Robinson says, you know, I am not a quarterback-based system. This is going to be a system that stresses offensive lines and defense and whatnot. But remember, we're talking about tailback you. We're talking about the Heisman Trophy, lived in, you know, South Central Los Angeles, down in USC for a lot of years. That's one thing they don't have, is a marquee runner.
Chris Miller in at a wide receiver. He and Keyshawn Johnson wide to the near side, splits to the far side. 4 wide receivers on the set. 2-step drop. Pass is complete, coming to the near side of Chris Miller. And Miller is taken out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. So a gain of 5. It'll be third down and a couple. Alan Rossum was there for Notre Dame.
Well, as you saw in our little pregame we did, Keyshawn Johnson emphasized the fact of what great weapons this offense has. There's a good example of another great weapon. They've got Chris Miller. They've got Larry Parker. They've got the tight end McWilliams. If you're going to emphasize Keyshawn Johnson defensively, they're going to make you pay on the other side in the middle of the field.
Mark Monahan and Ivory Covington check into the secondary. That's Johnson in motion. They stay on the ground. The give is to Rodney Sermon. Sermon's a backup tailback and the backup fullback. He's going to pick up the first down. That is the second first down in the ball game for USC.
You're going to see with motion the parting of the Irish. Watch this area right here. This is power offensive line football, backside counter play. That is part of the physical mismatch. When you see those big white jerseys on the Notre Dame football players, you can see a distinct size change.
Barnum and Washington, now the running backs, 42-yard line. And here's Washington, has the hold. Scoots through to the 48-yard line. He picks up 6 on the play. It'll be second down and 4. Brian McGee with the tackle. DeLon Washington, this is only his 4th start.
You know, if there's one thing that John Robinson and the people at SC talk about the most when they mention DeLon Washington, it's the vision he has. The great vision he has as far as a cutback and seeing where the defenders are. 9 times out of 10, though, if he's running on that side of the ball where he just was, over the right side, he's got huge holes. You know what else he has? He's got a great running back for a coach, Charles White.
2nd down and 4. Pass is behind. Is that Keyshawn? No, behind Chris Miller. That was Miller on the far side, and it'd be 3rd down and 4. Kinnon Tatum had picked up the coverage for Notre Dame, but this time Brad Auten was off target.
Well, so far what you're seeing out of the SC offense is much like you saw out of Notre Dame's in the first drive, in that they are using their marquee receivers, their Keyshawn Johnsons and Derek Mazes, as decoys. They're just feeling out the defense, finding the zones, finding the coverages. The big guys will be highlighted.
SC has converted 1 of 2 3rd down opportunities. They go back to the same well, and it is there. Still a little behind Chris Miller, but he makes the reception and the 1st down. Notre Dame territory at the Irish 46-yard line.
And that was a case, again, of using Keyshawn Johnson to sort of draw away the defense. 3 defenders went deep with Keyshawn Johnson, and that enabled Chris Miller just to come up underneath, basically in one-on-one coverage.
I mentioned that prior to this game, USC had been behind in only 1 ball game. They came back immediately. That was against Washington. Came back immediately and took the lead. They're behind here, trying to come back and take the lead for the first time. Notre Dame is up 6-0. Play action fake. Good protection. All the time in the world, but behind. A sliding reception by Keyshawn Johnson. He has it at the 29-yard line. It's good for 17. But Auten is off target. If he had hit him in stride, he could have had another 10 or 15 yards.
Well, watch the concentration as Johnson takes about a 5-yard divot. Look at that, the divot behind him where both feet just slid out from underneath him. And, you know, that's the quality of wide receiver, the quality of hands you're going to see on both sides of the ball with Johnson and Mays today.
A gain of 17 on the play, and Keyshawn goes wide to the far side. Double tight end set, 3 tight ends on the set. And the tailback, DeLon Washington, goes through to the 21-yard line. So he has a quick 8. And it's 2nd down and 2 as the offense of USC is cranked up and moving against Notre Dame.
Well, what you want defensively, you want square contact from your defenders. What they're not getting from the Notre Dame defense side is any kind of square contact, because that big physical offensive line is doing nothing really fancy. You know, Bob Davies, the defensive coordinator of Notre Dame, is watching his defense right now get smooshed.
And he is running the Irish on the sideline as Lou Holtz is in the press box. We saw him earlier. Stopped at the line of scrimmage is DeLon Washington. Sees an opening, a step to his left, and he picks up yardage and the 1st down. He has great vision.
Well, the man that makes this play is another fullback. This one for SC. Terry Barnum, 21. The fullback goes on Kinnon Tatum. Great lead block. Tatum trying to penetrate. That enables that vision, again, of Washington's to kick in.
14-yard line, gain of 7, 1st down. Rodney Sermon's now the tailback. And he takes the pick. And here's your student body left to the set. And he's upset at himself, a step away from scoring. Sermon's a sophomore from Diamond Bar.
Well, that's just a play where John Robinson calls and knows with the motion bringing another tight end into the game, he is going to get a physical mismatch, a numbers game. He's got 5 or 6 on that side. The defense has 5, and his 5 or 6 are bigger and more physical on that play than Notre Dame's defenders.
Washington back in at tailback. Arnon the fullback inside the 20.
Wow, look at those touchdowns.
Washington spinning, back pedaling to about the 3. He's going to pick up the 1st down. It'll be 1st down and goal to go.
Well, when you first saw the offensive lineups in this game, you saw the names Norberto Garrido and Phelan Pounds. The right side of the offensive line for SC, 73 and 76, right there. This is where you run in short yardage and goal line.
Pounds, 310 pounds. Garrido, 325. First down, goal to go. Here's the pitch, left side, Washington for the corner. He's wrapped up. Cannot get around the corner. Bill Wagasee, the first Irishman there, and Brian McGee put him away.
What really happens here is USC does a good job setting this up, but McGee, 17, coming with the motion, just a quick fill. You can't game plan. You can't schedule to block a guy that's coming that quickly. That is another one of those numbers games. That time the number was in Notre Dame's favor.
Corey Minor and LaRon Moore check into the defense. Second and goal, 4-yard line. Washington hit fumble. The ball is loose. Notre Dame says they have it. And they do. A crushing turnover inside the 5-yard line. That is Birdberry displaying the football.
You know, you can talk about the size differences between these football teams, and SC's offensive line obviously a heck of a lot bigger than Notre Dame's defense. But one thing you don't see when you compare size, you don't see the size of the heart. You don't see the size of the emotion. You don't see how fired up Kinnon Tatum is, flying over in midair, meeting the running back at the exchange point. Barnum tries to block him, but that's just heart, that's want to, and that's defense.
And Notre Dame goes to work just outside their own 2-yard line. First down. They lead in the game by a score of 6-0. SC had started that drive at their own 27-yard line before they were turned away.
Ball start on the offense.
Ball start against Notre Dame. That will cost him half the distance to the goal line, but Kinnon Tatum, he came over the top and charged the ball loose from DeLon Washington. Oh, what a great play.
Now, the whole mentality here in this situation, Charlie, is you got to be thinking field position football. Your kicking game is not the strongest part of your game, obviously, for Notre Dame. They've already missed an extra point. You have to get a first down. You have to give your punter room to kick. That's priority number one. That means fullback.
That means Mark Edwards. Play action, faked Edwards, coming to the near side. Pass is complete. Right on the sideline to Charles Stafford. Quincy Harrison with the tackle. Excellent choice.
Well, you know, John Dockery made a great point talking about Lou Holtz's play selection so far, and they're doing a wonderful job of keeping the SC defense just a little bit off balance. They're not on their heels, but right now it looks like SC's defense is getting to the point where they're going to start guessing. When you start guessing, that's when you can get down deep.
Second down and 5. Wallace to the second back through. Edwards, the lead blocker. Audrey Dixon is the ball carrier. It's going to be close to the first down. He needed a long 5 yards.
The heart of this Notre Dame running game is in one place. That's their guards and their centers. Right here in the middle. Not fancy. Kind of like the SC running game. Little quick trap by Dusty Ziegler. Great jobs by Kaczynski and Rosenthal on the right side. That's just good physical football, good execution by offensive line coach Bob Moore's guys up front.
The ball is at the 13-yard line. It is a first down for Notre Dame. So they have a little bit of room to work with. 2:12 and counting, time remaining first quarter, and the Irish are up 6-0. Wallace to throw on first down, wants to go deep. The coverage is there for SC, has to come back underneath, and he goes to Leon Wallace, his number 2 tight end, and Wallace is very physical up the sideline. That is only his 5th reception on the year.
And Ron Paulus, watch him in his drop. Watch his feet moving and bouncing. Watch the ball moving and bouncing. Bounce, 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 bounce. Whap. Gets this ball out, and you get the ball to Wallace. He's going to give you a shot on his body. About 8 guys had a shot on his body.
Wallace now 5 of 6 for 58 yards.
You saw that those mechanics in the pocket there, Charlie. Those are the kind of mechanics on the next level in the pros. A good quarterback coach will get those out of Ron Paulus.
Second down, about a half a yard to go for the first down. And here is Edwards, who has scored the touchdown. Across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. 15 yards. That seems to be the magic number for Notre Dame. Third time in the ball game they've had a play totaling 15 yards on offense.
And they're going back to the guy right now that's sort of their four-wheel drive runner. 44, Mark Edwards. Just keep it simple up front. Keep the blocking pattern simple. Give him a quick trap. Give him some blocking in the middle, which he's getting a great dose of by the guards and centers, and let him get matched one-on-one with defensive backs.
You're right. He's an all-terrain vehicle, isn't he? First down, 37-yard line. Ball is turned left as if he expected somebody to come through. Hands it off to Andre Denson, who does come through for 9 yards on the play. Are they going to mark him down? No, they're going to mark him down prior to that. He'll be down at the 44-yard line. It'll go for 7. Second down and 3.
Well, that tells you something about the job that the offensive line's doing up front against this big physical SC defense, and that you can have what looks like a little miscommunication in the defensive backfield, but by the time the running back gets there, the holes are still wide open.
Scott Solman and Charles Stafford, wide receivers, check into that offensive set. Notre Dame out rushing USC 65 to 43 yards. Vincent close to the first down, should pick it up at the 48-yard line. And another drive. And Notre Dame just grinding it out against SC. Matt Kinley, defensive left tackle, is the man who made the stop. Their touchdown drive was 80 yards in 14 plays.
And really, remember, they're doing this against an SC defense that came into this game averaging just a little bit over 80 yards against them a game. Not a half, a game.
Notre Dame took over on the fumble recovery inside the 5-yard line. They started this drive at the 2. The countdown at the end of the first quarter. The Irish are up by a score of 6-0. We'll return after these messages and a word from your local station. Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium. Now tomorrow, the NFL on NBC at 12:30 Eastern Time. Brian Bosworth, where is he now?
Well, I tell you, Charlie, everybody marvels at the job Deion Sanders has done marketing himself. Here's the guy in the 80s marketed himself better than any of these guys even thought about it. At Oklahoma, early in his career, I mean, he made a killing and broke the bank and never really played in the NFL.
You're right. And now he's making a killing as a movie star. Randy Kinder is now the tailback. Play action fake. Wallace rolls, sets, throws. Nice touch on the pass and is pulled down by Derek Mays. That may be one of the best passes that we've seen Wallace throw this year. Rolling to his left, tough to throw for a right-hander, and a lot of touch on it.
Well, you saw the bounce and the excitement in Paulus's delivery on that last pass he threw out there to Wallace. In this case, here's a great job of coaching that his coach Tom Clements does. A quarterback going to his left, timing the throw and coordinating it with the wide receiver. It shows you how much this guy's matured and how far he's come in the last year and a half.
Derek Mays' second reception of the ball game. That is his 40th on the year. And here is the man of the hour for Notre Dame, no question about it. They have been riding on the shoulder pads of number 44, Mark Edwards.
Well, you know, and Notre Dame wants to make you look at the Ron Pauluses, and they want to make you look at the Derek Mayses. But if Lou Holtz has his druthers, today he wants to go ugly. And when you go ugly, that means you're going with your fullbacks and your tight ends and your offensive line. And that's head ugly right there, right now for Notre Dame, Mark Edwards.
And it's a first down at the 33-yard line. Marcus Thorne from Indianapolis has come in to replace him as he takes a well-earned breather. It's a first down at the 33-yard line. He just picked up 10 yards and the first down. Here's Randy Kinder. Kinder's first carry of the ball game, good for a couple. It'll be second down and 8. Matt Kinley with the tackle for USC. And Notre Dame offensive line really doing a job on the defensive front 5 of USC. Lowry, Kinley, Gage, Russell, and Bond.
Well, and you consider the fact that Mike Rosenthal is starting at right tackle for Lou Holtz. He's a freshman, natural freshman. Dusty Ziegler had a bad back, didn't practice all week. You couldn't tell by the performance so far.
Denson back in at tailback. And he takes the pitch. He's got room. 30. Flag is down. 25, 20, and out of bounds.
That's going to be a holding call inside, Charlie. Anytime you get a hold that bad, it's either incredibly bad defense or some sort of penalty, and SC does not have a bad defense.
Jesse Davis finally chased him out of bounds. Oh, he had a lot of room, didn't he? We believe it's on Mike Rosenthal. It's holding against Notre Dame. He is the right tackle. The 18-year-old freshman from Granger, Indiana, and this is only his second start. His first start was against Ohio State.
It's a heck of a coming out party. Ohio State and then the Trojans.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Now watch the big guy right here, right tackle, Rosenthal, the freshman, 305 pounds, gets a hook, gets by, and that's a get a hold of you. That's a full-on tackle of the senior Fields at linebacker, number 6.
So with the penalty, the ball goes back to the 41-yard line. It is second down and 18. 3 wide receivers on the set. Mark Edwards, the fullback, is the remaining back. He is there to block for Paulus. And then he slips out in the left flat in the screen, slips a couple of tackles, and he goes to the 36-yard line. By all rights, he should not have had a yard.
Well, what you're going to see here, Charlie, remember when I talked about square contact and defenders? You want square contact, especially a fullback, 6 foot, about 240 pounds. You better get square contact. He's got big legs. That's not square contact. That wasn't square contact. Now that's square contact, and he goes down. But he's going to run right through those kind of tackles every single time.
Notre Dame leading by a score of 6-0 with a touchdown and a missed extra point on their first offensive drive. Paulus to throw. He goes deep into double coverage, and it is tipped, and it is incomplete. Derek Mays went up for it. He makes a living catching him with double coverage, but this one he couldn't pull down. He's got great hands.
Well, he makes it very, very clear. He says, once that ball's up there, that's my ball. And I don't know if there's anybody better right now in college at going after a ball and really coming down with it. And see how wide open he is for that brief moment. But he's not that wide open, folks. Don't be fooled really by what we showed you there. That is good zone middle coverage. You saw both safeties right there.
And the reaction of Ron Paulus. It is 4th down and 14, and that means that Hunter Smith, the freshman from Sherman, Texas, is in to kick to Larry Parker. He hangs it straight up into the wind. And it comes down on the 5 and is going to be touched down at the 1-yard line. Whoa, what a great kick of 36 yards. Thus far, a Notre Dame afternoon. They lead 6-0. So that means for USC, the quarterback is now Kyle Wahos.
And I know that this guy's been playing quite a bit. He's played, second and fourth quarters for the last 6 games. 1 foot line. You got to be thinking new quarterback, same center, offensive line, thinking about firing out. If you're a coach, you're worried about that exchange.
And they fumbled on the exchange, a scramble for it underneath. And you are absolutely right. From a center standpoint, you played center with the 49ers. What happens?
Well, it's the enthusiasm of the offensive line trying to fire out and hold the center, and the quarterback just not hanging in. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that was not a snap put right on Wahos' hands. That was a perfect snap, badly handled.
Jeremy Hope, the center, he has sent in his application, by the way, to be a Rhodes Scholar. 2nd and 10. 2-step drop pass is dropped. He comes to the near side to Keyshawn Johnson. Dual quarterbacks. This is nothing new at SC. You can go back to 1962.
Well, 1962 the first time. Bill Nelson and Pete Beathard. And, John Robinson didn't exactly break any new ground from there.
10 years
72,
later.
my freshman year, I had the misfortune of playing against those teams in 72 and 73 when I was at UCLA. Pat Hayden and Mike Ray.
We had a penalty flag on the far side. Here's the call.
Ineligible downfield on the offensive team. Penalty refused. 3rd down.
Jim Fogeltatz referee. He's from the Pac-10, the official from the Pac-10 in the Mid-America Conference.
Remember the point about setting up your punter to be able to kick the ball. This crowd is loud. This crowd is close. No one's going to be able to hear wall holds perfectly.
Third down and 10. One-step drop pass is complete far side. Guess who? Keyshawn Johnson. He's got the first down. Oh, how important is that play? That could save a touchdown right there.
Well, I tell you what, Charlie, one of the guys that doesn't have to hear the snap count is the wide receiver, Keyshawn Johnson. Plenty of respect, plenty of room. And then you're just going to see the ability. He's getting smacked by Rossum, smacked by McGee. He's a big target. But, you know, these quarterbacks at USC are really, really spoiled having this kind of a target outside, especially in those critical situations.
His second reception for 28 yards. He averages 9 catches a game and 120 yards. On the ground, straight shot up the middle is still on Washington. And Washington spins and battles his way for the first down. They're outside the 25-yard line. So suddenly from the 1 to the 25, 14 yards on the play.
Now, square contact, the shoulders are like this on the Notre Dame defenders. Watch how much square contact is able to be made on Washington. Good lead back by Barnum. That's not square. That's not square. That's not square. All around, that's just not very square now, is it, for Notre Dame? That's just good power running and power blocking by the SC offense.
And a first down for SC. We've got a timeout. The Trojans stop the clock. 11:15 left to go first half, and Notre Dame leads it 6-0.
Get into super truck racing just to add another trophy to our collection or to add another 15 minutes to our fame. And we didn't do it just to show up the competition. Okay, maybe we did. Chevy trucks, like
the 67th meeting, USC and Notre Dame, the American tradition.
And right now it is one of those football games. You've got a highly ranked Trojan team coming in here against a defense led by that man, Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator. He's doing everything. He's pulling it out. He's got his defensive backs flying around, his linebackers flying over piles.
Terry Barnum is the remaining back. 3 wide receivers. The pass is low. Going to Keyshawn Johnson, incomplete as we go down to John Dockery.
You know, Charlie and Randy, I talked about Davey before the game and asked him about Keyshawn Johnson, probably the best receiver in the country. And he said, look, we're going to do some things, especially on passing downs. Much like you're playing basketball, a boxing one, they're going to do some of that. They're going to have either Wooden or Rosson playing man-to-man on Johnson, and they're going to cover with a zone behind and a zone underneath. So Johnson will have a lot of coverage. Back to you.
John Allred, the tight end from Del Mar, in the offensive set off to the right side is DeLon Washington. It was second down and 10. He'll pick up about 3 on the play. We've got 11 minutes left to go in the first half, and Notre Dame leads this one 6-0.
Well, you know, John Dockery brings up a great point talking about that defense against Keyshawn Johnson. If they indeed give him that kind of boxing one look on the outside with the wide receiver, that ought to leave, you know, what we've been talking about, the ugly weapons. That ought to leave McWilliams as a tight end open. That ought to leave your running backs, a Barnum out in the flat who's a good receiver, open.
Third down and 6. Wallace to throw over the middle. It will come up short of the first down. 35-yard line. Larry Parker has the catch. He was dropped by Mark Monahan, who saves the first down at the 35-yard line.
You know, what you got there on a Bob Davie is an attack and a blitz. Right here, the stunts. Right here, the blitz. And a wonderful job as the defensive backfield stays with the assignments. You've got 7 guys coming after the quarterback, and you look at the fill job done on Parker. Parker caught that and had every intention of turning it up and had 2 gold helmets in his stomach.
And watch this one. Stonehouse kicking with the wind. Not a good kick. It was a high snap. It is taken by Scott Solman. And a fumble, and SC has the ball. It was a low driving kick. Jesse Davis was there for SC. Huge break for the Trojans.
Charlie, that's born out of one thing and one thing alone. A low driving kick. We're up here thinking return ball. You don't think Solomon back there is thinking the exact same thing. Here's the ball I can return. I can go. I can run. But you best keep the ball. Just a nice job right there, punching the ball out. Watch the hand come in. Jesse Davis gets the hand right on the ball and knocks that thing out. Stonehouse didn't hit a good one, but he got a great big play from Davis.
At the 18-yard line of Notre Dame, first down SC. Trailing 6-0. Fumble on the snap for the second time here in the second quarter, and Wahos recovers the fumble. It'll be a gain of a yard on the play, so it'll be second down and 9.
Well, I don't know much. I'm just an old offensive lineman, Charlie, but, you know, if I was John Robinson, if I didn't call a timeout right now and have these guys practice the exchange, as soon as this drive was over, I'd have Wahholtz and Hogue over on the sideline snapping until we got the ball back.
Another thing, very cold afternoon.
Well, Brad Otten there had no problem. It hasn't gotten that much colder. Otten had no problem with the exchange.
Pass is complete. It's going to be down the sideline, staying in. No, they're going to rule him out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Keyshawn Johnson. I thought he had the touchdown. The Trojans, a few of them at least, are celebrating. The official stepped on the sideline, and it is going to be a touchdown. But one of the officials right at the 3-yard line stepped on the sideline, and then I guess he decided no, that he made it in.
Watch this effort by Johnson. Rossum, mismatch size. And that's what happened when you got a size mismatch. 6'4", 210, physical, strong, fast, the whole package.
Tied at 6. Here is Rindham to break the tie. And it is good. And for the first time in the ball game, USC moves on top, courtesy of the fumble recovery and the touchdown pass to Keyshawn Johnson. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Jesse Davis is the man who set up the touchdown.
Hey, he really does, with just a great individual effort. The ball maintenance is not bad by Solomon there. It's just a case of Davis getting down on him and catching him when he wasn't expecting it. And what that sets up for the Trojans is Keyshawn Johnson's touchdown catch and run. The catch was fairly pedestrian. The run was All-American, if not get ready to strike a pose All-American.
The wind blows the ball off of the tee. When we talked to Keyshawn, he makes a big point of that. He says, usually I catch the ball maybe 5 or 6 yards, but I'm most effective running after I've caught it.
Well, and more so this year. He spent an off season lifting weights, watching films of, you know, the Rices and the Irvins and his opponents, and spent a lot of time running in the sand at the beach, which really helped his endurance.
Bastianelli kicking off. Emmett Mosley takes it right at the goal line to the 5, the 10, 15, and a nice return to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. And we have a flag down on the play. 8 minutes and 57 seconds. That is the time remaining in the first half. USC now leading Notre Dame by a score of 7-6. Here's the call. It is against SC. Let's go down to John Dockery. John?
Charlie, let me just, there's a little bit of confusion on the sidelines here as to why Emmett Mosley will listen to the official make this call, and I'll come back to you.
Kicking team beyond the line before the kick. Be a re-kick, 5-yard penalty.
Okay,
you heard
John,
the re-kick. Let me just continue.
Scott Solomon is, you know, I was surprised that he was back on the punt return and not Emmett Mosley.
So was I, but I mean, the word is in practice they both alternated on the punt return. Mosley is the most dynamic punt returner they have. But Solomon has actually better hands, and the fact that Mosley is starting at wide receiver today, they figured they'd use Solomon. But you might see Mosley back on punt returns before this game is over.
I think you're right. Statistics coming into the ball game, Emmett Mosley has 9 punt returns on the year. Solomon has 7. So he does have some experience, but it was a very costly fumble.
And certainly that way, and he's obviously a dynamic kickoff returner. He almost averages 30 yards a kickoff return. So he's a guy with great speed who can break it. So I'm a little surprised that he's not doing both, and we'll have to wait and see.
The ever-present fumble in the stands. As football is floating through the life of the fans here at Notre Dame Stadium, another sellout crowd. 59,075. This is 122 consecutive sellouts and 170 of the last 171. And I always wonder what happened. afraid to ask. It's like a secret deep in the vaults of Notre Dame.
Oh, if we were in L.A. on SC's turf, I'd say earthquake.
All right, here's the catch. And this one is going to go out of bounds. So all of a sudden, SC, problems with the kicking game. Mike Bastianelli, the 19-year-old freshman, who, by the way, he played his high school ball at De La Salle High School in Concord. He's got, what a win streak. What's the number 2 now?
Well, he was 39-0 in high school, and now he's 45-0 going into this game. And
his last loss was in Pop Warner when he slipped at the 6-yard line. I can remember it.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy nobody likes. He has no point of realistic. There's no reality in this guy's game. You know, the people look at him about how hard you got to work because you got to win. And he doesn't go into games saying you have to win. It's like, well, there's an alternative.
They said, you know you're going to lose. And he said, why? Good answer. I spotted at the 40-yard line as Notre Dame goes to work as they trail in the ball game by a score of 7-6. Here's Denson, and he is cut down for a loss. This was Sammy Knight who moved up. Strong safety for USC. He'll spot the ball at the 38-yard line. Second down 12.
Well, watch the nose. Stuart Gage, the senior, 320 pounds, working at the center against Kaczynski. Playing the draw the whole way. He sets that whole play up with that penetration and the way they play that inside. That one fooled absolutely nobody, especially Gage and Knight.
Mark Edwards, the fullback. Autry Denson, the tailback. Play action fake. Wallace comes back underneath the covers to Denson on the near side. He is out at the 46-yard line. Brian Kelly was finally there for USC. He picks up 8 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
You know, this game is shaping up much like the Ohio State-Notre Dame game did. Notre Dame really stayed out ahead of Ohio State for the first 2.5 quarters or so. Had that emotional peak, that emotional edge. The difference in that one were turnovers. They turned the ball over to Ohio State in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Quick points. They cannot repeat what Salmon did with that deep turnover like that to stay in this football game.
Wallace having an outstanding afternoon, completing 8 of 10 stumbles. Here is the middle screen, this time to Denson, and he just rolls to the 40-yard line of SC. Jesse Davis finally makes a tackle, a gain of 15 yards, converting on 3rd down and 4. First down, Notre Dame.
I'm a little prejudiced. Let's watch the center, Kaczynski, and see the job he does down the field. He does 2 things I like. He sets it up well, and he cut blocked. He did a great job cut blocking on field, sliced him right down. It was just a nice job of sell, not only by the offensive line and Ron Paulus, but also by the running backs and receivers for that screen.
First down, Paulus to throw. Pumps, wants to go deep. Buys himself some more time. He's going to scramble down the sidelines and get out. He's really not a runner. That's what he says, and he gets hit right on the sideline. He's a big, tough football player.
But like you said earlier, Charlie, if he has his druthers, he'd rather not be coming back blinking. When you see a guy blinking that many times, that means his head hurts too much to shake to clear it, so he's just hoping it'll clear it if he blinks a lot.
He picks up 7 tough yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
The toughest yards on the football field. The toughest yards started off the football field. Yeah,
Ryan Hawes of El Toro is the man who nailed him right to the sideline.
It wasn't late, but it wasn't far from it.
It was close, wasn't it? 33-yard line, 2nd and 3. Here's Denson slipping 1 tackle, and that's going to be it. He'll be wrapped up and then thrown down. And Wallace comes over to help him up.
Yeah, remember what we've seen so far in this first half, Charlie, is the most effective plays that Ron Paulus and the offense have run have really featured Mark Edwards, their fullback, who's done a great job blocking the last couple plays, but it's inside at the SC defense you're going to be most effective in attacking because of that speed. You saw that great pursuit and speed on the outside there.
Sammy Knight, Jesse Davis, and Scott Fields all there for SC, 32-yard line. Notre Dame has converted 4 of 5 third down opportunities. And they face 3rd down and 2. Edwards, not a big surprise. He's just going to lean at the 30-yard line, and that lean should be enough. Let's see if he gets the mark at the 30 for the first down.
Yeah, every defensive player is going to want to try to push back a player, especially in this situation. You want to push him and push him as much as you can. From the fullback position, you want those shoulders square, and you want your angle of attack into the defenders, and that's what Lou Holtz got from his fullback there. Tell me this guy doesn't get fired up.
you know he is animated. You notice that he has that new soft collar on. Here's the change out for the measurement.
I thought he looked taller when we saw him the other day.
The collar pushes him up a little. And he has that turtleneck is on is an extra large turtleneck. He said the shoulders come down to his elbows. And he has to roll it up about 5 times. Or it comes. See, you can see it underneath. That's all pushed back.
You know, he just take a sip and he relaxes. He's less fired up. We just got the measurement in there for a first down. So he automatically took a little deep breath. And he's okay, now it's first down. What do I do now?
SC leading 7-6. 6.5 minutes left to go first half. Notre Dame a first down at the SC 30-yard line. SC shows blitz. The give us the tailback, Jensen, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards to the 28-yard line. Brian Hawes with a tackle for the Trojans.
And that was
second down and 8.
Charlie, that was an inside linebacker play there. We talked about the great job that Edwards has done as a fullback. Watch Haas, 41, reading blocking patterns and filling the hole.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just getting a whole face of 41 there if you're Denson.
Derek Mays wide to the far side. Denson wide to the near side, and the pitch is to the fullback, Mark Edwards. Edwards picking up a block on the corner, goes to the 20-yard line. Now he needed 8. He may not get it all. Maybe about a half-yard shy of the first down as Darrell Russell and Scott Fields make the tackle.
Yeah, one thing I liked about that play, too, from Edwards' standpoint, it's not very often you see a patient fullback. And he was patient enough to get out there, have faith that his blockers would develop, that the hole would come. Most fullbacks are a little impatient, just say, hey, if it's not there, I'm going to just batter somebody in front of me. As an offensive lineman in the past, I can tell you the guy that usually gets battered by a fullback isn't the defender. It's usually the offensive lineman if he's in the way.
Third down and 1. Leon Wallace comes in. A double tight end on the set. Here's Edwards. And he's going to pick up the first down. He needed a yard, and he got it all. Stuart Gage with a stop for SC. And Notre Dame will have the first down. That's the third time in this drive they converted on third down.
Exactly, Charlie. Remember what I keep saying about square contact?
Yes.
They made contact with Edwards at the 20-yard line. They had him short of the first down, but none of it was square contact. And with his size and his push, I mean, he's gonna get that first down without the square contact every single time.
He's 6 feet even, 227 pounds, a junior from Norwood, Ohio.
And Dave Roberts, the offensive coordinator, and Lou Holtz right now are sort of on a roll calling plays.
First down, 19-yard line. Notre Dame lead, Notre Dame trail, 7-6. 4:39. Time remaining first half. Here's Denson. And he goes to the 15-yard line. So a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. And a very workmanlike running effort on this drive for the Irish of Notre Dame. Scott Fields and Brian Halls on the tackle.
You want to know what kind of football game this is really turning into? Look at the helmets of the Notre Dame football players, especially on offense. The linemen and the running backs, you'll notice little red streaks all over it. That's an SC paint all over their heads from all that contact.
And, of course, they have speckles of gold on the paint and freshly painted for every game. Wallace on the option, and he keeps something that he never does. He goes to the 9-yard line, could pick up the first down.
Right, you know,
he is full of surprises today.
Charlie, there's not much doubt that Lou Holtz knows more about football probably than you and I, and he made that comment yesterday about we have to have positive rushing yardage out of Paulus, and we both sort of looked at him and said, what? Positive rushing? What is positive, that he doesn't get hurt when he runs with it? He goes, no, positive rushing yardage, and that's a great example. Not only does this guy take a shot out of bounds almost earlier from Haas and get positive yardage, there on the option, big positive yards for the Irish.
Marcus Thorne is now the fullback. It's first down and goal to go at the 8. Here's Denson. Can he get around the corner? They're going to ride him out. Audrey Denson but he is stretched out by the defense of USC, and he is out at the 5-yard line. 2nd down, goal to go.
Well, everybody talks about the student body right of USC. Here's another student body going in the same direction, and that's right. Denson stretches it, and here's where the speed of the SC defense once again came into play. That play was set up very well by Notre Dame. Yes, it was a positive gain. Against a slower defense, it's 6 points.
Inside the 20, Notre Dame. Ryan Kelly saved the touchdown.
You need touchdowns against the Trojans.
2nd down, goal to go. Edwards is back in, and we have flags. So the backs are split with Autry Denson and Mark Edwards as flags came flying in. And here's the call.
Dead ball. Illegal substitution on the defense. Be half the distance to the goal.
So the ball will go to the 2-yard line.
You know, I say that about touchdowns against John Robinson's USC Trojans. Against this team, you do not want to get into a kicking contest. John Robinson has a superior kickers on his side. Notre Dame's got a storied history recently of bad performance out of their kickers. Don't make it a field goal contest. Make it a touchdown contest if you have to.
2nd down, goal to go, 2-yard line. Edwards would be the first back, and he carries into the end zone. That is his 2nd touchdown of the ball game, his 9th of the year. And Notre Dame regains the lead with a 60-yard touchdown drive.
Well, all that really was, Charlie, was a good job up front by the offensive line and another scoring ugly. And speaking of scoring, the Irish are going to go for 2 here instead of putting a PAT up or even risking a PAT. And I think that's a good decision with this offense. And don't really be lulled asleep by Edwards' ability to sort of pile drive and hammer people inside. One thing this fullback really can do well is catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a real weapon catching the ball.
60-yard drive in 13 plays. Marcus Thorne is the up-back. He's a fullback. The tailback is Edwards. He's a fullback. So the big back offense, it is Edwards. He's going to throw. He wanted to throw back to Paulus. Now he's scampered. He's still going. Now he throws into the end zone. Touchdown, or not, conversion is good. Oh, my. A little bit of everything. What you wonder about is that the offensive line did not break down, that they held everybody, and they did.
Well, now watch this sequence we're going to give you here. First, the touchdown. Power and brutal fullback play. Got to have square contact. You don't, you're giving up 6. Now, in the fullback resume, you know, scrambling left for quarterbacks is hard. Scrambling left for fullbacks is impossible. Look at him shot put this thing to a waving, wide open Ron Paulus. 2 points, 14-7 Irish.
When you're having a good game as a receiver, you get to sit next to the man who's throwing it. And there's Paulus. He's the receiver. He came over and sat down next to Edwards, who just threw for the 2-point conversion. Sure, he's going to stay close to him now. Do you know what he said? I was open all the way. I was wide open.
You know, the monster you create here, though, is not, you're going to have this kid Edwards. He's going to be going to the line of scrimmage every play now, licking his fingers like he's a throwing threat.
Scott Sinja kicking off for Notre Dame. And fielded on the hop by Chris Miller. Miller to the 25, cuts back to the 30. Pretty good return out around the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. We'll step aside. We'll be back in a moment.
She's 13 years old, and she spends 4 hours every day climbing a wet ladder to do what she does better than most everyone in the world. And if she works hard enough, there will come a day when she'll leave the only home she's ever known and travel half a world away to the Olympic Games in Atlanta. And everything this little girl from South Korea has grown up with, every face, every sight, every sound, will be far away. Everything but one thing. because McDonald's will be in the Olympic Village to help feed the athletes. And anyone who might be hungry for a little taste of home.
Time for the Prudential Update with Greg Gumbel and Ahmad Rashad. And they will take an in-depth look at the college ranking system, a preview of tomorrow's NFL doubleheader, and scores and highlights. What about the college bowl system?
I know how that works. Have you ever watched the Oscars? It's whoever they think is owed one or a popularity contest. It's not always who's the best.
Lots of time for Wowles. And a deep comeback pattern that is caught by Larry Parker. Boy, did he have a lot of time. Credit the offensive line for that gain of 23 yards. That is the second gain in the ball game for USC, over 20 yards.
And really, you have to be a 6'5", 200 and some odd pound quarterback to throw this kind of a rope. As you're running in one direction, you're basically throwing back across your body, and you have to have a lot of faith in your receivers and know you've got that kind of talent outside.
45-yard line of Notre Dame, first down. Back to the ground, DeLon Washington, and he is dropped. Good defensive play. Byron Cobbins was there for Notre Dame.
Well, Corey Bennett was the first guy there, Charlie. Cobbins kind of finishes him off, but watch the job that Corey Bennett, number 95, does. Really undersized, 240-pound defensive lineman. Just gets in there, and, you know, he gets the first long grasp of the leg. He manages to pull it out eventually, loses that shoelace, but just a good penetrating job.
Second down and 14. Again, good protection. Buys a little bit more time. Goes to John Allred. And for Allred, that is his 6th reception on the year, his first of the ball game, and he is stopped by Lyron Cobbins. A minute ago, I said they gained for more than 20 because Lou Holt said we have got to keep SC from big gains, from over 20 yards. Now, they've held him thus far to 2 games of over 20 yards.
Well, and the reason that's such a big deal to Lou there is the fact that going into this game in their last 7, they've given up 28 plays of 20-plus, averaging 4 a game. You just can't do that and be a big win.
Third down and 6. A scramble for it. It is incomplete. Keyshawn Johnson, the intended receiver, and there was great coverage by Notre Dame.
Well, remember we talked about earlier about the job that had to be done one-on-one and back with a zone?
Rossum.
That is one-on-one case of right there, Rossum taking on Johnson. Wahholz put it where it needed to be, and he just knows he ran into a good defensive effort right there by Allen Rossum.
Rossum from Skyline High School in Dallas, sophomore, the fastest player on Notre Dame's team, and they're going for it on 4th down with 2 minutes to go. He'll scramble for it and will come up short. About 1.5 yards shy. Wahholz looked deep. The coverage was there for Notre Dame. He tried to pick it up. He does not make it. The Irish take over on downs. Bert Berry with the tackle.
You're seeing that emotion. You're seeing that fire right now out of the Notre Dame defense. Just remember 2 things. First of all, the Notre Dame defense needs the emotion, and plays like this will provide the emotion. Meanwhile, upstairs, is he involved? Is he still involved or what?
That he is. Notre Dame first down, their own 38-yard line, 1:54. Time remaining. Wallace decided he liked running, and he continues this time to the near side. He's going to pick up about 7. Willie Lowry making the tackle.
Remember I said, Charlie, about the emotion of Notre Dame. Notre Dame must maintain this emotion for the rest of this game in order to beat SC. The key word for the Trojans is patience. John Robinson has to preach patience to his players. He physically has the better football team. They can't get flustered. They must keep pounding and pounding and pounding. Remember that the defense for Notre Dame does not have very much depth and or size. The SC team's best chance is not getting flustered, not making mistakes, and just keep doing what you're doing.
You looked at John Robinson, the battle cry in 1982, which was the last time that Robinson would be a head coach for USC before he went into the professional ranks. And that game was against Notre Dame, and he He said, I had to have a battle cry, and it was win one for the fat guy. And he was talking about it yesterday to us. And he said, yeah, he said, that's the way it should be. These games should be fun. They're serious, but really, it's a game. We should have a lot of fun with it. And I think he does as a coach.
You know, when John Robinson left coaching, I had the pleasure of working with him for 1 year, and you know, with a network. And this is a first-class fun guy. He brings that let's have fun level to everybody, not only just to his football players, to his coaching staff, to the alumni, to the university. And that's where he's back where he belongs. He belongs on this level with these kids.
Notre Dame, 11 consecutive running plays. Now they want to throw. Here's that middle screen. Kaplevich, the tight end, to the 50-yard line. And he is going to pick up the first down. He needed 4, and he gets 6. That stops the clock with 1:35 time remaining in the first half. And you're absolutely right about John Robinson. This is exactly where he belongs at this level. Scott Fields and Brian Kelly with the last tackle.
Well, what he's looking at right now from his defense is being attacked by an offense that's taking chances and stepping out of character. A big part of their character, fullback. Another big part, Derek Mays.
50-yard line, first down. Wallace to throw. He wants to go deep. Has a man open. It is Emmett Mosley. Mosley, the speedster, is out of bounds. He added another 3 or 4 yards after he stepped through Jesse Davis. 26 yards. The first time that Notre Dame has had a play over 20 yards in the ballgame.
Well, you know what I love most about this play right here? Watch Mosley. He's going to catch the ball in all this. Goes out of bounds. Who's he go out of bounds right in front of? Look at the foreground of the picture. That's the USC band. He gets in front of that band. He starts screaming and yelling. You know, but if you're Emmett Mosley's size and you're that fast, you got to pick on the band. Don't pick on a linebacker. Go find a tuba player.
Watch out for that trombone player. He's going to sack you. All right, first down. Here's the reverse. Oh, yes, they do. Hand off on the reverse to Derek Mays. And Mays is pushed into the SC band at the 18-yard line. Now, it can be dangerous to be a member of the SC band. And they're all hyped up. Watch them. They're ready to go. This is what college football is all about. Here's the reverse.
Well, a great block at the end here against Fields, number 6, by Ryan Leahy. Right there. Just decleats him. Sends Mays into the band. Look at that. You know, you can tell it's a Pac-10 team because the band's involved. You know, first it was Cal and Stanford. Now we got the SC band involved here. And I'd move him back a little bit further if I was...
not a lot of room to move back, though. This is a great setting. Wallace to throw. Wants to come back to Mays in the corner. Has coverage slips. Derek Mays, he really just slipped. Brian Kelly had picked him up. Had pretty good coverage on him. You couldn't tell if he was open or not. But it is slippery today.
Well, you know, there was sort of a light spritzing of showers and kind of frozen stuff out here earlier in the day. And you saw the cleats just go right out from underneath Mays. But, you know, I like what Paulus is doing in that he's going to Mays.
Yes.
Not necessarily open. He's taking his shots to Mays because he's not letting the defense take his best weapon away.
Notre Dame impressive on third down conversion, 6 of 7 in the first half. 1:04 time remaining, second quarter. Wallace to throw. He drills this one underneath the covers to Emmett Mosley. Mosley's going to pick up the first down at the 8-yard line, a gain of 10. First down and goal to go. Dalen McCutcheon with the tackle.
A good job by Lou Holtz's team right here, just in 2 things, moving the ball and clock maintenance. With a timeout there's 58 seconds left in this situation. They've moved the ball down very patiently. And like I said earlier, John Robinson's defense is being challenged right now, not only on the field, but up in the booth and on the sidelines by some excellent play calling.
Mosley, with 12 receptions coming into the ball game, drawing the starting assignment, has 3 receptions for 51 yards. And at the other end of the play, Paulus is done.
Well, you know, Paulus is getting smacked there in that case, you know, by Darrell Russell. And, you know, he's a big guy, and he's very talented. He's a sophomore. You know what else he is, Charlie? He's late.
But let me tell you something. He has a nickname, and he doesn't like people to know it.
Okay.
His nickname is Pookie. And his friends, they call him that, and they say, why? And he said, well, he looks like a big Pookie. And they say, what is a Pookie? They say, I don't know, but if I knew, he would look like one.
And Mr. Russell, Mr. Russell, 6'5", 3 1/4. I want to point out that was Charlie Jones calling you Pookie.
No, don't tell him. Don't tell him. Keep it quiet.
Well,
we are pledged to secrecy.
Mr. Russell, Darryl, Pookie, whatever.
Mr. Russell,
his defense needs a big play.
He needs to step up. First down, goal to go. Ball is to throw. 5 on the pattern. Swings right side. It is Edwards. And he is kicked out of bounds at the 5 by Sammy Knight. It'll be second down and goal to go.
Now, here's a guy, too. It wasn't a very big play. Did you see the exchange between he and Knight at the end of that play? Knight knocks him out of bounds, makes that great contact, doesn't knock him down. They sort of slap each other's hands, and, you know, the great hit. Oh, no, good run. No, good hit. I mean, this is the kind of competition, and this is what makes this rivalry between these two teams so special. It's not hate between these two. It's just good, clean football.
And a lot of respect. Ball is pump fake. It is incomplete. He was decked just as he released the ball. He was really hammered. Almost cost him an interception.
Wow.
Whoa.
Marcus Bonds puts a scrambler.
007. Oh.
I tell you what, this is a surprise, too, to Ron Paulus. He's looking right. As soon as he looks left, all he sees is the crosshairs on the face mask of Marcus Bonds. And a nice job of the poise of throwing that thing away. See where he's checking, though? He's checking his mouth, and he's checking where the football went, being sure it wasn't intercepted. 1, 2. Yeah, they're all there.
Third down, goal to go. Here is the give to Autry Denson. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Their third of the afternoon. On the drive, and Lou has put together his notes for halftime.
Lou is headed to the locker room because he just watched a play on the goal line, and his freshman back Denson was running through a hole. No running back has business of having that big a hole on a goal line type defense. They just gashed the Trojans defense.
9 plays in the drive, and here is the elusive extra point attempt. This one is good by Kevin Kopka.
That one was over the middle, the left side. Kaczynski, Ziegler, Clevenger, Kilberg, Leahy. Watch this thing. A hesitation, a draw, a great lead block by Edwards working on Haas. That's what gets him in the end zone. The offensive line gets him by the yards. See the cut block by Edwards right there on Haas, knocking Haas into the end zone. He can't stop the running back. I'm going to hammer it one more time. 44, Mark Edwards, lead block, touchdown.
And Notre Dame leads 21-7 with now 41 seconds left to go in the first half. 62 yards on the drive in 9 plays.
Well, Charlie, we've been talking about the American tradition of this matchup between SC and Notre Dame, the history of upsets, the history of big plays. Remember a game back a few years ago. SC behind at halftime. A certain guy I remember by the name of Anthony Davis had a pretty good second half, didn't he?
Did he ever?
There's no real reason for John Robinson and his Trojans to get 2 down at this point.
Scott Sinja kicking off. Taken by one of the upbacks, and that's Billy Miller, a wide receiver. And he's going to return the neighborhood of the 40-yard line. Still 35 seconds left in the first half. Still, of course, plenty of time. Keyshawn Johnson, Larry Parker, Chris Miller, all the deep receivers for the Trojans.
Well, you're 59 yards from the goal line, and just remember how quickly a Keyshawn Johnson and a Larry Parker can cover 59 yards. SC's got quarterbacks both in Otten and Waholtz here in the game now that can cover that territory very quickly with their arms.
SC will start from their own 41-yard line. Kyle Waholtz is the quarterback. As protection goes deep over the middle, Keyshawn has it. Loses 2 tacklers inside the 30. Suddenly, he's at the 21-yard line. 1 play from from the 41 to the 21, 38 yards. 25 seconds left and a first down.
I played with the all-time great wide receiver in Jerry Rice. This kid is a great receiver. They are born. They are not made. You can't tell me you can coach a guy to be able to knock people down like that, to shrug off tacklers, to catch the key passes, to know you're going to get zoned, to know you're going to be covered, to know your quarterback has the confidence in you. This is a very special football player.
And talk about being a member of the USC family. He was a ball boy for some 7 years. And then at the basketball games and the baseball games, he saw a program.
You know what he did, too, there at the end of that play that was so special for a former ball boy? He protected the ball. One thing John Robinson and his staff stressed big time, cover it up. That's exactly what Keyshawn Johnson did.
Cover boy on Sports Illustrated. And, of course, you know, he talks about that, too. He is not modest.
No, that's...
but he has that great confidence that your great athletes have.
He really is. And he's having a good sort of a 1995 coming out, letting this country see what kind of a receiver that this guy is. I mean, you've got to realize here's a young man that can catch 9 or 10 passes a game, can do it for 110 yards, and that is an average. That is not an exceptional game for this young man. That is average. Those are the type of performances that get you awards, that get you covers.
The average is 9 receptions. The average is 120 yards. He has 4 catches in the first half. First down, 22-yard line. 25 seconds, time remaining, first half. While throws, diving reception at the 6-yard line, and this time it is Chris Miller.
You know, the big problem right here we are looking at is Notre Dame scored pretty quickly down on the other side, left those 38 seconds left, and Wahholtz, with the weapons he has with Keyshawn Johnson and whatnot, were able to move the ball down the field for John Robinson. I don't personally happen to be a person that says, hey, look, you got to hold on to the ball longer on the other side. Don't give the offense on the other team a chance, but that's one of the sort of catch-22s of getting the quick success they got in the goal line. They left John Robinson's offense plenty of time to drive down and get some points.
And remember, it started at the SC 41-yard line following the return, and then 25 seconds after the play went to the 22. The last play took 6 seconds to the 6-yard line, and it is first down and goal to go. Meanwhile, in the elevator is Lou Holtz as he's working his way to the locker room. He may be in for a big surprise when he gets there.
Yeah, it's going to be the missing tape for Lou Holtz, the part of the game he didn't see. He's going to have to catch up on tomorrow when he gets his tape. And what he's really seeing is a very poised USC offense.
They do have a radio in the elevator. And now I wonder if Lou say, let's go back up. Push the up button. 19 seconds left. First half. First down, goal to go, 6-yard line. Notre Dame up 21-7. Sermon's the remaining back. Keyshawn Johnson to the right. Timing pattern. Johnson goes up and it's knocked away.
Flag down.
Flag down. Sean Wooden had the coverage.
And remember, what we're looking at is the rain starts to sort of fall down a little bit here in South Bend. SC is got another advantage in their favor, and that is the wind. The wind that is blowing right to left is blowing at the Trojans' back and was blowing into the kicker's face. That's why he had such a short kickoff earlier.
And pass interference called against Sean Wooden.
A good job by Sean Wooden, but he doesn't turn back and challenge the ball. See him knock that thing out? I don't see much pass interference there. I see a fine defensive play.
I agree with you on that.
Well, I don't care if the quarterback begs for it. That was not pass interference.
They'll mark it at the 2-yard line, or they mark it at the 3. They'll split the difference. They'll mark it at the 3. Down goes over. First down, goal to go. And there's miscommunication. He thought that Keyshawn was going to the corner. Johnson saw the defense and came inside. It was a misread. And we'll do it again. Still plenty of time. 12 seconds.
Charlie, a bullet pass right there. Touchdown. Getting blitzed by the quarterback. Has to dump out of it quick. Watch here. Wahholtz timing. 1, 2, 3. Throw. Getting the blitz. Getting pressure. Just a wide receiver reading one thing, quarterback reading another.
Chris Miller checks into that offensive set with a play from the bench. Second down, goal to go. Goes back to the corner, and it is no good. We saw the SC band involved, and now the Notre Dame band is involved as Keyshawn Johnson isn't visiting with the drum section. But right now, he can't beat Notre Dame in the corner.
Well, in this case right here, Wooden knows the boundary is his friend. Defend the football field. Don't worry about the out of bounds in the band. You're wondering where Lou Holtz is? Lou Holtz is not going to miss this end. This is a little bit different end of the first half than Lou had in mind.
Third down and goal. Blitzing pressure. It is tipped and then caught. 2-yard line. Gain of only 1, and time runs out.
Great play by Burt Berry. He tipped that pass coming on the blitz. Got right in Waholtz's face. Good attacking defense when they really needed it. They put themselves in a hole, and they kept them out.
Let's go down to John Dockery.
Coach, kind of a wild and woolly first half. It ended bizarrely there. What would you say about it?
Well, we haven't played well, and we seem to shoot ourselves in the foot. The key is, so far as Notre Dame's offense has overwhelmed us and had the ball, we can move the football. But we've got to stop them first, be able to get some rhythm on our offense. We're inside the 10 twice and don't score, but I think the key right now is us getting them stopped.
Has the weather affected you at all?
I don't think so, no.
Good luck, Coach. Charlie?
Well, the weather not a problem. All right, here's a look.
There's Berry, 13, getting the quick blitz in Waholtz's face. He gets the pressure. Corey Minor gets the tip coming from the other side. Watch the blitz. Inside. Berry, Cobbins, Minor,
Sermon
Tatum,
the catch.
The whole group right here. Just good attacking defense in the inside for the Irish.
So it is halftime. Notre Dame leads at 21-7. And now let's go to Ahmad Rashad in New York for the Prudential update. Stats. Now there's a Notre Dame fan who is watching this one through green Northwest.
You've got two things, I think, decide this second half, decide this football game. One, the weather and the wind. SC is kicking with the wind here. Number 2, turnovers. We'll see at least 2 or 3 turnovers in this second half.
Emmett Mosley on the return. He's to the 5, the 10, the 15. And hit at the 20, will fall forward to the 21-yard line. I tell you, another factor as you look out is going to be a bit dark here in the second half. The time moving on, it's what, almost 4 o'clock here. And it's a dark, gray afternoon as Notre Dame goes to work at their own 21-yard line. Ron Paulus, of course, is the quarterback, with Mark Edwards, the fullback, who has scored 2 touchdowns. And the tailback is Audrey Denson. Mosley is wide to the near side, and Mays wide to the far side. Pump fake and goes deep. Has a man open. He is behind, but then it is close, and it is intercepted. SC has the ball. Quincy Harrison, his first interception of the year, as he closed on the receiver, and opening turnover on the first play from offense, and SC has the ball deep in Irish territory.
Well, I told you the second half for Lou Holtz's football team was going to be important because of 2 things. Turnovers, can't have them. Started off with a turnover. Secondly, remember, they're going into the wind. Going into the wind, that ball floats. There's too much air underneath it. That sets up the interception because Derek Mays was wide open.
SC goes to work now at the Notre Dame 30-yard line, trailing by 14 points. Brad Otten is the quarterback. He was the quarterback in the first quarter. And he will come out throwing deep over the middle. He goes to his tight end, Johnny McWilliams. 10-yard line, maybe the 9, a gain of 21 on the play. First down and goal to go. Alan Rossum with the tackle.
Well, and that's how the USC offense started this thing off, Charlie. Not with the wide receivers, not with the running game, but highlighting what I called early the ugly part of the offense. Their ugly is the tight end is Johnny McWilliams. That gets in the middle of the field. That sets up the outside for the receivers.
The 3 tight ends for SC this year have combined for a total of 8 touchdowns. They have some movement of the tight ends. Speaking of that, John Allred, he got an early start, and that will be a costly penalty against the Trojans. They're at the 9-yard line, and they have a first down and goal to go. And we're not yet 1 minute into the second half. Here's the call.
Dead ball. False start. On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And that was Allred. You know, you've got a national TV audience. You've got 59,000 or so here in the stadium. You jump off there. You want to kind of freeze and say, well, maybe no one will notice.
Still first down and goal to go. Again, good protection. This time back underneath the coverage. The pass is complete to Terry Varnum, but he is dropped immediately by Burt Berry.
Burt Berry, the player coming on that blitz at the end of the first half and made the big play there, is just doing a perfect job from the linebacker position, getting in his drop and closing on the running back. See the closing part, just the aggressive spurt of run, and then suddenly he's just wrapping up and putting this running back on the ground. Good form tackle defense.
Larry Parker is in as a wide receiver. Allred moved from the right side to the left side, and we've got jumping again. This time was John Michaels, the left tackle. And so coming out of the halftime locker room, then SC, you know, they're a little out of sync.
Dead ball. False start. On the offense. 5 yards.
Second false start. Now there's been a change of quarterbacks since the second quarter, so it's a little different cadence. Does that figure into it?
Well, this is Brad Otten's. This is his quarter, his third quarter,
right.
And that really does enter into it from an enthusiasm standpoint. They know they're down. They know they have to try to make a big play. You start pressing, you start anticipating, and a different cadence has an effect on alignment.
19-yard line, second down and goal. Here's a middle screen. This one is complete. And with the ball is that Rodney Sermons? I believe it is. And Sermons goes to the 6-yard line. A gain of 13 yards on the play. It is now third down and goal to go at the 6.
We talk about that enthusiasm. The defensive line for Notre Dame has that attack and enthusiasm. That's what enables that play to be set up so well by the offense. But you have to point out the good job Corey Bennett, number 95, does. He was one of the guys in there closest to the quarterback. He came all the way back and made the tackle.
3 for 7, third down opportunity. Sermons, the remaining back. This one is drilled, knocked away. This is what we saw at the end of the first half when Keyshawn came across looking for the quick shot. Here it was knocked away.
Well, it was thrown low down and inside. From my vantage point here, it looks like you got a little holding going on by Rossum. He's got his hands all over Keyshawn Johnson, especially that left hand you can't really see. Looked like it was wrapped around his waist.
Adam Rendon, the freshman from San Diego, is going with the field goal attempt from the 15, an attempt of 25 yards. His longest this year is 26 yards. So he's within his range. And he kind of sails it through side by side as he spins it. It counts for 3. And we have a 21-10 ball game as Robinson shakes his head.
We all know about the fire and the motivation of head coach Lou Holtz here at Notre Dame. You want to see a reflection of a fiery defense. Where do you think they get it? I think maybe the motivation and the intensity might come from their defensive coordinator, Bob Davie.
It's there, isn't it? Emmett Mosley is the deep back on the return. And he is going to let it go through the end zone. The 2 up backs, by the way, just to file it away, were Mark Kinder and Clement Stokes. And so Notre Dame will go to work following the touchback at their own 20-yard line, first down.
Pay close attention to that right there. What you're going to see is the turnovers in the second half. Throwing the ball anywhere past about 15 yards down the field, heading the direction Notre Dame's in, is going to be dangerous. The ball will float. The ball is also going to be very wet and very cold. You're going to see fumbles.
First down, Notre Dame, 20-yard line. Simpson, the remaining back, and he is dead. Brian Hawes. He just led it in the backfield for Notre Dame. Give him a jacket and 5 yards.
Well, the SC offense started out throwing to McWilliams. What they did well in the first half early. What the SC defense do early very well. That's Haas reading traps, reading blocking patterns, and running into the Notre Dame backfield.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15. Mark Casano in as a linebacker now with a 4-man front and 3 linebackers. Here's Denson. Denson is stopped at about the 16. Let's join John Dockery.
You know, Charlie, it'd be interesting to see. I talked to some of the offensive coaches of the Irish at halftime, including Dave Roberts, and they said all week long they practiced some trick plays to keep the USC defense off balance. You know, the tight end screens, the screens to the halfback, the draws, the reverses. Well, it's worked, but it didn't work in the first half. At the beginning of the second half, and they tried to get it all and was intercepted. So it'd be interesting to see if Notre Dame goes back into their shell after being wide open. Back to you.
Again, SC with a 4-man defensive front, 3 linebackers. They dump it off to the right side, and Notre Dame close to flag is down. Notre Dame is close to picking up the first down.
I think you're going to have a face mask there on the sideline.
Autry Denson, the ball carrier.
You know, John Dockery brought up a fabulous point there about going into their shell. If Lou Holtz and the Irish go into their shell in the second half, they'll lose this football game. They need to stay wide open. They need to keep this SC defense guessing.
The face mask penalty, they'll tag that on to the end of the run.
Face mask on the defense, 5 yards, be a first down. Get out of my...
Oh, he's talking to the young man. Don't hang around. He's talking to Brian Kelly. And Kelly was the one who got the face mask. Here's a better look at it.
See the left hand?
Yep, it's on there.
Well, he didn't tear it off. He's right, but he did have his hand all over it. He did pull on it, and that is definitely a face mask.
35-yard line, first down Notre Dame, their own territory. They lead in the ballgame 21-10. Just over 11 minutes to go. We're in the third quarter here at Notre Dame Stadium. Notre Dame very successful on the ground in the first half. Autry Denson, the ball carrier. In fact, their yardage offensively more than SC normally gives up in an entire ball game. But they're coming back here, and SC has made some adjustments.
Barely 50 yards more. And what really set up that running game effectively was the short fullback style of a running game. The quick hitting stuff you're seeing now in the second half, slower developing plays. Remember the speed of the SC defense. If you develop a run slowly, they'll smother it.
2nd down and 7. Now SC shows a 5-man front. And a play action fake. Paulus rolls. He's being chased. He throws. Incomplete. He's going to Pete Kriplevich, the tight end, and it is incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Now defensively for SC, Israel Ifeani is now in that defensive set. And of course it was yesterday that he got his eligibility restored by a restraining order against both USC and the NCAA.
It was very unusual, the filing against both entities, but what SC gets back with Israel Ifeani is their best pure pass rusher. A young man who has not been playing football very long, from Nigeria, and really physically the best guy they had that can get after the quarterback. 3rd down and 7. 5
on the pattern. Over the middle, and it's Edwards, the fullback. Mark Edwards, the number 2 receiver for Notre Dame. He'll pick up 16 yards on the play. First down, they convert on 3rd down. Second time in the drive, they converted on 3rd down. Go ahead.
Charlie, remember what I told you. This is a multi-dimensional type of a fullback. This young man can catch the ball very well out of the backfield. A perfect example. Catch SC in a zone with an inside linebacker blitz, and that opened that hole up right over the ball.
Stuart Gage and Brian Hawes with the stop. 46-yard line of SC. First down, Notre Dame. This drive started at the Notre Dame 20, SC offsides, and then they get back. Meanwhile, one of the officials goes down, as does the ball carrier. He is Mark Edwards. Edwards scoring 2 of Notre Dame's 3 touchdowns. Autry Denson has the other one.
And there's an example of that quick hitting running game that Notre Dame was so successful with in the first half. And you have to say the offensive line right now is doing a very, very good job against the defensive line of USC. Defensively, SC is very big up front with guys like Darrell Russell at 320. You know, Kennerly is about 290. We talked about Gage being 320. But the offensive line for Notre Dame is just man blocking up and balling them.
41-yard line of SC, 2nd down and 5. Wallace Edwards, the first back through. Let's give him a yard to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Now, in this drive, Notre Dame has converted 3rd and 14, 3rd and 7. Now they face 3rd and 4 as Brian Hawes made the last tackle.
And exactly, Charlie, that's why that play was stopped. It was very well set up by the line blocking, but Brian Hawes read it perfectly and filled up.
8 minutes, 45 seconds, time remaining. We're in the 3rd quarter. 10 of 11 3rd down conversions. That's almost unbelievable. Play action fake with the option that's not there. Wallace turns around, is dropped for a loss at the 44-yard line. I think SC knew that he was coming because he really drew a crowd.
Well, he did. What they did is they play the option perfectly. What you do when you play the option, you penetrate up the field and you take away the option. The fullback was not an option. The only option right there was to swarm the quarterback because he was never in position to get anywhere close to pitching that ball because Matt Kennelly was right over.
So Hunter Smith is going to be kicking into the wind, and Larry Parker is the return man for SC. It hangs straight up. It's going to come straight down. Right as it runs, it is like a wind shear. Drop to the 21-yard line. 7:49, time remaining in the 3rd. Notre Dame leads at 21-10. Notre Dame football on NBC. On NBC tomorrow at 12:30, the NFL on NBC. A great feature on Brian Bosworth, now becoming Brian Bosworth, the movie star.
Yeah, very much. This is a guy that's done wonders. And how you do it, I don't know. I think a lot of people would like to know how you go from a football player to a movie star type person. But, you know, the second part of that on that show is instant replay. They're going to talk about that. I'd love to hear what Ditkin Gibbs have to say. Personally, you know, I have one word about replay.
What's that?
Please.
Yes. Yes. We've seen some interesting calls. Interesting is synonymous. Play action fake. First down. Going wide open. You can't get any more open than Keyshawn Johnson was. He goes to the 46-yard line.
Well, you know, there's the old saying, they got to make the hay while the wind blows for USC and Otten in this offense because they're going with the wind. They have the advantage of a passing offense with the wind. You got to take advantage of two things here, the wind and a Notre Dame defense leaving the best receiver in America wide open.
Oh, yeah. And the quarterback's reaction now 107 yards receiving for Keyshawn Johnson. The quarterback here is Brad Otten. And, of course, the 4th quarter be Kyle Wahoo. First down, play action fake, slips, steps, fires, and is dropped. A little bit behind John Allred, the tight end. Allred slipped, Brad Otten slipped, and one of the officials slipped. It is, in a word, slippery.
Well, the reason it's slippery is it's getting misted. It's not a steady rain down there, but it's so cold and it's so soaking when you get a mist like that. It really affects the top layer of the grass. And you're seeing the feet, not only the receivers, but you're also seeing the quarterback's plant foot. You want a great illustration on that wind. You saw those beautiful autumn-turning leaves blowing about there.
What a great setting this is for college football. Here is pressure. Here's backside pressure. Slipping away and down to silent. A good scramble by Brad Otten. Now he is 6'6" and weighs in at 225. I thought they had him from behind. A couple of giant steps and he was away.
And that's just a case of good poise by Otten. And I don't know if it's fear or eyes in the back of his head. I'd like to think it's more fear and common sense of getting away from as many defenders as he can. But he's not a bad runner, but he's definitely not a hurdler. Couldn't take that bench.
3rd down and 1, 45-yard line of Notre Dame. And SC has to make hay while the wind blows in the 3rd, because in the 4th they'd be going against the wind. Here's DeLon Washington. He should have the first down. Let's see where he gets his spot. It's going to be very close. He may want to check out the chase. It is a first down. Clock moving on the 7-minute mark. Time remaining We're in the third quarter. Notre Dame is up 21-10 over USC.
Hey, remember what we said at the end of that first half, Charlie, the fact that it's got to be patience for SC. You do what you do best. You don't press. What they do best is get the ball to Keyshawn Johnson and McWilliams through the air.
Notre Dame with a 5-man front. A little play action fake. Far side tip. And it is incomplete. Pretty good defensive coverage by Allen Rossum. Keyshawn, he's got a height advantage. Now, Rossum is only 5'7". Keyshawn Johnson is 6'4". There are those that say against the short corner that he's open as soon as he leaves the line of scrimmage.
Well, Allen Rossum also has about a 37-inch vertical lead, but look at the defense. You've got Rossum there in back of him. What you don't see there is the bracketing in front. You see, right just at the last minute, coming from the inside of the screen was McGee. Just like Dockery said, they're bracketing him inside out, upside in.
Rossum with perfect timing. They go back to the ground. It's not there. DeLon Washington, maybe a yard, and that's going to be it on 2nd down and 10. And so USC will have to go up top again. This time it was Corey Minor from Laverne, California. He went to high school at.
Well, he's another Bishop Almada,
yep,
along with Dalen McCutcheon.
There's a lot of them that have played football around the country.
Well, that's a very, very strong Catholic high school football program in Southern California. And there's the Minor, McCutcheon, and Ramogi Huma. Now at UCLA, also a very strong football program, I might add.
I was hoping you would get that in. 3rd down and 9. And it is incomplete.
And Allen Rossum again with a good defensive play. Chris Miller was the intended receiver and just got that hand in. Charlie, you talked about his height. But I tell you what, his arms are plenty long so far because he's getting them up in there and breaking up a lot of passes.
Ross is playing at about 6'4", and excellent timing. He has a pair of interceptions on the year, and both of them for touchdowns. He's a speedster, fastest player on the Notre Dame squad. John Stonehouse is going to be kicking to Emmett Mosley. Mosley at the 10-yard line. Mosley back with a punt return. Oh, this one picks up the win, and it's gone. Mosley just turned and watched it go. We'll step aside. 21-10 Notre Dame.
Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium. Now, most people think that the reason USC has tremendous motivation today is that they want a shot at the national championship and they want to end the drought here against the Irish. And for the Irish, well, get responsibility by beating a top team like USC. But, folks, the real reason they're playing this game is the shillelagh, because the team that wins this gets to keep this shillelagh. And after this play, Charlie, I want to tell you a little more about this trophy.
Here's the option and the handoff rather than the option, and it's dead to the right side as they take him out of bounds, and we go back out of bounds with John Dockery.
The shillelagh trophy is given by the LA Notre Dame club, and the team that wins, if the Irish win, I don't know if you can see on here, you see a shamrock with an emerald. If they win, they get to put another one on there, and if the Trojans win, they get to put a helmet on there. And obviously, for the last 12 years, the Irish have been putting a lot of shamrocks on this original shillelagh, which came over from Ireland, guys. And guess this, how about this? Howard Hughes' pilot, it is reported, brought this over about 30 years ago from Ireland. Back to you guys.
And he was flying alone in the plane with just a shillelagh. Is that also part of the story, Doc? All right. Autry Denson to the 26-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 for Notre Dame. But that seems to be playing right in their hands. They've been awesome on 3rd down opportunity.
Well, it's a matter of being awesome and also, I think, being a little bit lucky with the execution. And, you know, John Robinson realized he needs the ball back right here. He needs Notre Dame to get conservative on this 3rd down play and not get the 1st down, because he knows this wind is a huge factor for his passing game. He wants another possession with the wind at his back.
George Perry with that last tackle. Emmett Mosley, a late arrival as Stafford comes out. It's 3rd down and 4. Now Notre Dame with a late arriving substitution. That's going to cost him on the delay 5 yards. Paulus is really upset. Notre Dame has converted 10 of 12 3rd down opportunities, but this one is going to be lengthened. Here's the call.
Go ahead, 5 yards. Dead ball. Illegal substitution on the offensive team. 5-yard penalty.
What'd you see Paulus come running over, screaming and yelling at the sideline, and Dave Roberts standing there? You think if Lou Holtz was standing there on the sideline instead of being up in the box, that Mr. Paulus would be quite as exuberant?
He would have stayed out there to the huddle.
Yeah, I think he would have stayed right where he was.
3rd down and 9.
This changes the play call for Ron Paulus in this offense. They've got a great conversion rate at 10 of 12, but this involves the wide receivers more than it does the tight ends and the fullbacks.
Mark Edwards, the remaining back, slot on the left side with the flanker left, so 3 wide receivers on that side. And rolling left with Edwards out in front, wants to set, and now he's just throwing it away. He was out of time and out of real estate and out of receivers. It'll be 4th down and 9, and that means that Notre Dame will be kicking.
Well, all he had over there really was Charles Stafford, number 81, was sort of over there triple covered on the sideline. Derek Mays and Kraplevich, his other 2 receivers, were on the near side. He had no chance to get it to him. He rolled away.
Hunter Smith will be kicking to Larry Parker, and again kicking into the wind.
Yeah, you can count on about a 20 to 25 yard punt unless you really drill this thing low into the wind.
His average today is only 28 yards. This is a pretty good one, considering everything. Taken at the 41-yard line. Has a flag drop, makes a good move. He could break it all the way, and it may be called back.
It's going to be called back. It's a push in the back. It's a clip against USC.
38 yards on the punt, a 59-yard return that will never make the official stats.
Yeah, that was Bradley, number 46, Charlie. Just a dumb play, pushed right in the back. Really probably didn't even need to do it.
White, right side of the screen. Watch for number 46, Mario Bradley.
Here comes the contact. Right side, there's the push in the back right there. Just not a very smart play, because I think Parker could have gotten up inside the whole way. And a big break for USC, dodging a touchdown bullet by Parker and USC. And just watch his team get 7 more points taken away. That's 21 points I think they've squandered against this Notre Dame football team. I don't care how highly you're ranked, Charlie. You cannot give up those kind of points. That is a huge deal. The 2 times inside the 10 in the first half, that was 14 points as far as I'm concerned. Parker's punt return for a touchdown, it's another 21 points. That'll drive a coach crazy. I mean, that'll drive you gray, but John doesn't have that problem. He's already there.
He's already part of our club.
But, you know, it's just amazing what he's had to go through. And I don't care who you are. If you're Florida State, you're Nebraska, you're any of the undefeated teams, you can't squander 21 points and expect to beat an opponent.
Again, good protection, and this one is going to be intercepted. The run, Cobbins with the interception, and Cobbins down the sideline, inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. His first interception on the year, and a return of 38 yards.
And if you're going to squander points, if you're not going to come through on 3 opportunities, one thing you definitely can't do is give up an interception, give up a turnover. That's our 2nd turnover so far in this second half. And just a poor decision and a poor pass on that case right there by Otten. He had no business throwing that ball there, because the entire way LaRon Cobbins is just dropping into his drop and staring him down the whole way. Hits him right in the face, right in the hands. Big break for Paulus and the Irish.
At the SC 18-yard line, first down. The give is to the second back. It's Randy Kinder. Kinder slips the tackle, but the second man gets it. Sammy Knight was unable to bring him down, but Micah Phillips got it. Still, mark it for no gain. We'll set it at the 18. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 3 minutes, 19 seconds and counting. That is the time remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Notre Dame is up 21-10, and they are going against the wind. They'll have the win in the 4th.
Yeah, they will. And, you know, this defense came into this game as one of the top-ranked defenses in the country, and that ranking, I think, is out the window with the yards they're giving to the Irish here, but they need a big play defensively now.
Wallace scrambles. Now he has pressure. He's throwing this one away. Brian Haas putting the pressure on Ron Paulus. Paulus is taking a beating.
Exactly, Charlie. Brian Haas again swells up, makes a big play. And look what they had coming in here. 81.2 a game rushing, 131 yards for the Irish in the half. Second-ranked scoring defense, 9.5 allowed a game, 21 in the first half. 10 points in the first half this season, 21 today for John Robinson's defense. But there's a defender for the Trojans that have played a great game so far in Haas. And they need the pass rush right now from Ifeanyi, number 55.
Wallace in the second half against the wind, 2 of 8, 29 yards and an interception. Edwards pulls this one in, and he is dropped at the 12-yard line. If Notre Dame has any kind of a problem, they go to number 44, Mark Edwards. Micah Phillips makes the tackle.
Yeah, Lou Holtz has a tough decision right here. You see him upstairs. Does he go for the field goal, which truthfully with a Notre Dame kicker of late is about a 50-50 proposition the last few years, or do you go for the first down at fourth and medium, 4th or 4? He's going to let Kopka have a try at it and see if he can get this one.
From 29 yards away. His longest this year is 38 yards within his range. And it is no good. So he misses from 29 yards out. And the score remains Notre Dame 21 and USC 10 as we'll take another look at the kick.
There's Derek Mays giving little words of encouragement because Derek Mays knows games like this come down to field goals. Remember, he slipped on the plant foot before and he pulled it left. He doesn't slip here, would appear, but he still pulls it left. And you want to see a coach taking a deep breath and just blowing out and saying, phew. Yes, for John Robinson.
SC trailing in the ball game, 21-10, just over 2 minutes to go in the third. Here's Washington on a sweep to the left side, and it's going to be good for a yard. From the 20 to the 21, it'll be 2nd down and 9. Ronaldo Wynn on the tackle.
Yeah, before we went to that replay, you saw a quick shot of Derek Mays comforting Kopka, the kicker. You know what he's telling him right there? He's saying, hey, look me in the eye. What I got to tell you is one thing. This game will come down to where your kick's going to be important. Don't go in the tank on us. Stay with us. We're going to need you.
We're going to need you. You're right. Second hand, that's part of the great leadership that you see in college football. This time epitomized by Derek Mays. On Washington, the sophomore from Kimball High School in Dallas, the ball carrier, out to close to the 24-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
When you talk about big plays and big players and the stars rise to the occasion, here's a great example. USC needs Keyshawn Johnson to rise to the occasion, beat the double coverage, find a way to get a first down and keep this thing going.
3rd and 7. Hit, throws it up for grabs, tipped it, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted. Another bad decision by Brad Auten. You've got to just eat it on that because an interception could cost you 6.
And if you're Notre Dame, you got to love the job your defense has done the last 2 possessions, especially on that one there. Stuff 2 runs, and then you get a pass rush right up the middle, and you're getting into the legs of the quarterback with Ronaldo Wynn and Corey Minor.
You miss the field goal, then your defense holds SC 3 and out. So Stonehouse kicking to Emmett Mosley. And he has the win. And it goes down the sideline. But it's going to go out at the Notre Dame 49-yard line.
Now, I made the point about the 21 points that John Robinson's team has wasted. Now you got to say, in my opinion, let's add it up to 25. You've got a short field goal. You basically escaped that bullet. There's another 3 points. You got a PAT that was missed. There's 25 points that really, you got 5 points or 4 points there that should be against you. 21 should be on your side. I mean, you've got a lot of wasted points between these teams.
John Stonehouse putt good for only 28 yards, and he's one of the better ones in the country. Notre Dame, they go to work at their own 49-yard line, first down, leading 21-10. Wallace comes out, and it is incomplete.
You mentioned the kick, and Stonehouse's short kick. Remember, that was with the wind, and the wind affected that pass right there of Ron Paulus trying to throw the ball to Mosley. You saw how the ball was thrown about head high, and it sailed on him.
It is getting colder this afternoon. It is 38 degrees. The wind chill factor is 21.
You know, a lot of times you don't appreciate what an All-American receiver, you know, like a Derek Mays does. But we're going to take a look and keep looking at what Derek Mays does without the ball.
He comes wide to the near side. It is 2nd down and 10. They stay on the ground. There's not a lot there. A couple of yards for Denson. So spotted at the SC 49, 3rd down and 8. Willie Lowry with the tackle.
Yeah, we talked about keeping an eye on Mays. Watch what he did on the play before. Draws the beat on Knight, the safety. Starts to slip. Tries to get up. Pancake.
Stays with him.
Hey, he's not catching a lot of passes. He's not doing a lot tangible. But the intangibles are making the difference right now for the Irish.
After 3, Notre Dame leads at 21-10. We'll return after these messages in a word from your local station. This is Charlie Jones and Randy Cross. We start the 4th quarter here at Notre Dame Stadium with the Irish of Notre Dame and the traditional waving of the hands to the 1812 overture.
And all those hands are forming an L for Lou.
Yes. Notre Dame 21, USC 10. I thought it was love you, Randy. The scoring by quarters, 3rd down and 8. Rain starting to come down a bit harder. 38 degrees. Wind chill factor is 21. On target. 1st down, Notre Dame.
Once again,
Leon Wallace.
One more time for Ron Paulus in this offense. It doesn't this time go to Edwards. He doesn't go to Krapevich. He goes to the other tight end, Leon Wallace. What a big target and a quality job of holding on after the contact came, because it was a good little smacking he got once he caught it.
The reaction to Ron Paulus, 12 yards, 1st down. Leon Wallace, 2nd reception of the ball game and only his 6th on the year. And they go back to the ground. And when Notre Dame goes back to the ground, it is either Audrey Denson or Mark Edwards. This time it is Denson.
Well, this is an offense that came into this game averaging 220 some odd yards passing and 220 some odd yards running. Extremely well balanced. If they have their druthers, they love to pound you inside the tackles. That opens up the maze outside. That opens up the tight end with Wallace and Krapevich.
2nd down and 8. Edwards, the remaining back. 3 receivers on the near side. One stays in the block, and Edwards carries. And he may have another 1st down. Edwards has scored 2 touchdowns in the ballgame.
Well, Charlie, my geography and my sense of direction isn't always great, but I got to tell you, I think that's pretty close to just saying man-on-man run or quick draw. Let's go up between the tackles and let this big offensive line get after these guys.
Kennelly and Iviani on the tackle. Here are your totals.
How about that balance? It was 141 passing to 131 at the half. They just keep it going on. It's a problem John Robinson's defense has seen all day so far.
And with the chains out, it's going to be shy of the 1st down by just a few inches, maybe 6 or 7 inches.
Short of a 1st down.
Well, in this situation, you go what you've done best, and Ron Paulus and the coaches on the sideline know what they've done best so far is give the ball to Mark Edwards inside, pound the ball, and get another 3rd down conversion.
One thing that you might concern yourself with, though, if you're SC, because also Notre Dame has done this, is you go inside with a fake, you go deep to a tight end. No mystery there. Ron Paulus is going to pick it up.
Well, another case, Charlie, of good positive running yards out of Ron Paulus, like Lou Holtz. That was the secret. Lou knew what to expect from his quarterback was the positive running yardage. And, you know, you just
kind of looked at each other with these strange expressions.
It was a It was a But they've proven it. You know, Lou Holtz's offense is not one-dimensional today. They've kept it wide open. They've kept this SC defense off guard, and they haven't done what we said they couldn't do, and that's been too conservative in this 2nd half. And they do have the wind at their back, but the wind at Edwards and Denson's back usually means it's going to feel like they're downhill when they're running.
1st down. Paulus left. And he is down back at the 36-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 35.
Well, we talked about at the beginning of this half that the two things would be a factor. One would be the weather, the wind, and the conditions. And we've seen all sorts of slips, and we've seen some awful funny-looking plays. The other one was going to be turnovers. We've seen plenty of turnovers.
And as you can see, the rain now beginning to pick up just a little bit as the game goes on. When the game started, it was like almost like a mist, and then it was a light drizzle, and now the drizzle is getting a little heavier. Here's the middle screen, knocked away. Good defensive play by 6'5" Matt Kinley from Laguna Hills. He anticipated that, and he makes the play.
Oh, Charlie, they're lucky, because Emmett Mosley was coming underneath on a quick screen right there. You see 5 coming in. That thing was set up absolutely perfectly. That's a big play for John Robinson's defense, because I think they had about 10 yards at least on that play.
Joe again on 3rd down. Notre Dame 3rd down and long as Paulus comes back to the huddle. 3rd down and either 19 or 20 to go for the first down. Make it 19 officially. And, of course, well out of field goal range for Notre Dame. Paulus steps forward, buys a little time, goes deep. It is incomplete as they both fell down. Derek Mays fell down. He is number 1. And Dalen McCutcheon for SC, who was covering. He's number 1, and he also fell down.
Please report the opposite team.
Now, there's a situation where the conditions are really starting to come up and rear their ugly heads, and see Kennelly kind of get the tug, trying to pull him down. And what's the tough guy from Pennsylvania do? You don't pick on a Pennsylvania quarterback.
That's right.
You don't. I mean, I can tell you, the Marinos, the Kellys, the Montanas, there's better people to pick on a California quarterback. Don't pick on a Pennsylvania quarterback.
Hunter Smith just trying to settle it inside the 10. Is going to be taken on a fair catch by Larry Parker at the 10-yard line. We'll step aside. Notre Dame up 21-10.
Notre Dame football is brought to you by Champion. For over 50 years, Champion has been proud to be the authentic outfitter of Notre Dame football. By the United States Postal Service, we deliver for you. By Cigna, a business of caring. And by MasterCard. MasterCard, it's more than a credit card, it's smart money.
Well, Rob Paulus is a young quarterback, so he doesn't have all the injuries older guys do. You know that great big scar that Troy Aikman has under his chin? Well, Paulus just got his starter kit there underneath his chin.
Waho's now the quarterback. He goes deep, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Keyshawn Johnson.
And you saw the shot that Waholtz took there as he was throwing that ball. That's the kind of shots quarterbacks take when they're unprotected. That's why Aikman wears that great big chin strap to protect his chin.
And a Notre Dame player is down.
Dr. Michael Nicholas, please report to security option 11. John Will is going at the...
While we have a momentary injury timeout, let's do a scoring summary. Edwards with a 9-yard touchdown for Notre Dame. They missed the extra point, and they went up by a score of 6-0. SC then coming back to take the lead. Keyshawn Johnson, a 17-yard touchdown reception. They converted the extra point. It was 7-6. Mark Edwards from 2 yards away. And again, Notre Dame moved back on top. They went to the 2-point conversion. Edwards throwing to his quarterback, Ron Paulus, for the 2-point. And then for Notre Dame, Autry Denson from 5 yards away, 4 yards out. He made it 21-7. And the rest of the scoring, the Adam Rendon 25-yard field goal, and it's 21-10. So that will bring you up to date now with 12 minutes and 9 seconds. That is the time remaining as Ron Paulus still being administered to. Oh, that gets bigger. I thought you just put a little butterfly gizmo on there.
Never let a trainer near you with gauze, scissors, and some tape.
It looks worse than it is.
He's got something that's going to look like Lou Holtz's neck brace if he stays around that trainer any longer.
Kyle Waddle's now 8 of 14, 119 yards and a touchdown for SC. He, of course, is the quarterback in the second and fourth quarters. Brad Otten, the quarterback in the first and third.
Remember, Charlie, he's new in the game, and he's throwing into the wind here in the fourth quarter.
And remember when he came down the second quarter, had trouble on the exchange with his center. No problem here. Play action. action fake, has pressure. He's down for a safety.
That's the freshman, Corey Minor.
The freshman from Southern California.
Dalen McCutcheon's teammate at Bishop Amat High School makes the biggest play of his young Notre Dame career with a safety on Wahholtz. A stunt inside, a blitz from the linebacker on the outside. 2 points for the Irish, and a lot of momentum.
So Notre Dame will go up with this safety by a score of 23-10 over USC with 12:05 time remaining in the reaction of John Robinson.
And more importantly, John Robinson's football team is looking at, a situation that they're going into the win. Remember the lack of success they've had punting the ball. Stonehouse was very, very mad about the performance he had earlier with that 28-yarder when it was with the win. Imagine how he's going to feel about trying to punt into this thing. Notre Dame will get excellent field position out of this exchange.
So with the free kick, he'll be punting from the 20-yard line. That is Notre Dame's first safety since October the 3rd, 1990. It's been 5 years between safeties. So Stonehouse will be punting. Emmett Mosley is the return man for the Irish of Notre Dame.
Remember how dangerous Mosley is as a returner. You got to have big hang time.
Pretty good kick under the circumstances, taken by one of the upbacks on the bounce, and the return to Scott Solomon. And Solomon with an outstanding return, finally stopped by Jesse Davis. 29 yards on the return, and Notre Dame will set up shop just outside of the SC 30-yard line. Back in a moment. All right, thank you, Greg. I look forward to that. Now, you played against Bosworth.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how Bosworth explains the heights of a great college career and expectations to the pounding he took as a pro, because he was a marked man, and the guys pounded this guy. He was not hard to find. He was not hard to hit. He took a real beating as a linebacker.
Denson is pushed out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. It'll be a first down, and that, of course, is in the pregame show tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern time. Tell me more about Bob.
Well, it's not hard as an offensive lineman, especially to get pumped up about wanting to hit a guy. No matter that he's got blue lightning bolts or whatever he had on the side of his head, and 14 earrings and a ring in his nose and long ponytail down the back, and that guy would never play for that guy right there. Brian Bosworth would not have played for John Robinson or the guy up in the booth. A free spirit who really got his lunch handed to him as a professional. I want to hear what he has to say about his professional experience.
Yeah, he's going to talk about the journey. Now, I will say one thing. He was a marketing major. He was straight A's as a marketing major. Here's Mark Edwards. Edwards to the 16-yard line.
And Mark Edwards today is getting his doctorate in fullback 101, because he is just taking it right at the heart of this defense. I spent a lot of time with Tom Rathman for the 49ers, just a tough, square-jawed, flat-topped, belchy in the mouth kind of a guy. And, well, so far we've seen the belchy in the mouth part, and there's the square jaw and the flat top.
He's got it all.
Yeah, it's kind of a knockoff.
Also, he's rushed for 73 yards in the ballgame. It is second down and 3, just over 11 minutes to go. Notre Dame controlling this football game. And again, it is Edwards. This time he's going to be wrapped up at the 15 after a gain of 1. So it'll be third down and 2. But the clock, of course, now the friend of the Irish. And they'll be content just to stay on the ground and use it up.
And all that set up by the safety by Corey Minor, forcing the punter Stonehouse for SC to kick from the 20. Got the short kick, the big return by Salmon, set up this field position, and that enables Lou Holtz there in the box with Tom Clements, his quarterback coach, to call nothing but running plays against John Robinson's defense.
Third down and 2. Denson, by the way, has rushed for 80. He's going to add more to that total as he goes to the 8-yard line. 87 yards rushing now for Autry Denson. He's the 18-year-old freshman from Lauderhill, Florida, and only his second start.
And really, the play calling continues for the Notre Dame coaches. They're doing a wonderful job of keeping this defense off balance. This case, another sprint draw. Leahy, good job. Kaczynski, good job up front. Kilberg making that start. Playing a little bit, at least, for Dusty Ziegler, who's been in and out of the lineup, did a good job on that play.
Kreplevic and Wallace, the two tight ends. Denson again, the tailback. It'll be first down and goal at the 8-yard line as Mays comes across in motion. Here's Denson on the bench. Cannot get around the corner. He is taken out by Brian Keller. As once again, the bands and the fans participating in the ballgame.
Well, you notice the difference in success rates when they try to run outside against this SC defense. When you've got success against a defensive football team, especially a highly ranked defensive football team, that you are physically taking it to, you don't want to run outside. You don't want to go and challenge their speed. You want to challenge their manhood. You want to challenge their feelings. You want to go after their heart.
Almost 13 minutes difference in 12 to 13 minutes in time of possession on the side of the Irish. On the draw. Again, it is Autry Denson. And Denson, the first game of the year against Northwestern, he was on the special teams and was a reserve cornerback. And then they moved him to offense, and he really has performed. Kenley with the tackle for SC.
Now, I've been in games like this where an offensive line starts to take over a football game. I guarantee you right there, Dusty Ziegler and Leahy and Kaczynski and that whole group, Rosenthal and Clevenger, they're looking at Paulus, they're looking at the running backs and just saying, hey, look, run the ball. I don't care which one of us behind you run, but run the ball. We physically just want to take shots at these guys. They're taking shots and they're hitting their shots.
Mark Edwards, the fullback. Kender is now the tailback. Third and goal from the 2. And he wants to throw. It is there. It is high. A one-hand grab by Pete Kreplevic, the tight end. And that is his first touchdown of the year. And the first touchdown for any of the tight ends of Notre Dame.
And all that set up by that running game and that offensive line. The defense thinking exactly what we were, Charlie. We better bow up because Lou Holtz's offense is coming after us. They bowed up. Paulus shows the patience. Kreplevic is another example of Irish ugly success. Success with the ugly fullback offense. Success with the ugly tight end passing game. It's been points no matter how ugly it is.
35 yards on the drive in 7 plays, and that was set up with a beautiful return.
Exactly. It was that punt by Stonehouse being held up by the wind, set up that great return by Salmon.
9:07, the time remaining in the ballgame. Notre Dame is up by a score of 29-10. We'll have huddles on both sides. Another quick reminder about the NBC on NFL, the pregame show tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern time. And that's going to be really interesting because not only the feature on Brian Bosworth and his journey and his ups and downs as a marketing major and a superstar, at least in his own mind, and then the fall that he had from grace, followed by the entertainment. But then they're also going to talk about the instant replay. Should it be brought back?
Well, I absolutely now think they should have instant replay, and I think it has to come back for us. And when I say us, I don't mean us in the television business. I mean us, the football fans, yes. The people that care about football. The league cares about football. The coaches, the players, the officials care about football. This game needs instant replay. And, you know, you can't ask for 3 greater authorities, I think, or greater opinions on it than Montana, Ditka, and Gibbs. I mean, if you're going to, unless you want an honest answer, don't ask them a question because you're going to get an honest answer out of those guys.
You're absolutely right. Now, up by a score of 29-10. For the second time in the ballgame, Notre Dame will go for 2. The first time they converted a Mark Edwards pass to his quarterback, Ron Paulus, who was open in the corner of the end zone, and he was open forever.
Yeah, it's as much a statement of their confidence in their offense, I think, as it is a statement in the lack of confidence in their kicking game, because you're on the 3-yard line. You're not even then in extra point range.
But you would have to reason that Mark Edwards, a fullback, would be involved at least in one form or another. And guess what? He scores it.
John Robinson is watching a dismantling and a physical pounding of his USC Trojans. They come in here number 5. They're coming out bruised.
And better. 8 degrees and overcast. Notre Dame Stadium in Los Angeles. It is 66 degrees and it is overcast. It is overcast for the Trojans, wherever they happen to be on this afternoon. And they continue to struggle with a flag down. Anthony Volson on the return. He just keeps going. Puts out his stiff arm, finally brought down, but there was a flag back at the 15-yard line.
It's going to be a push in the back by Allred, number 89, the tight end. Came right into the back and made a push right at the about the middle of that return.
The penalty against USC, and they've had a lot of penalties today. All in inopportune time.
Illegal block in the back on the return team. Penalty marked off from the spot of foul. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
But penalties have not caused the downfall of FC. Notre Dame has outplayed them.
John Robinson has built a fine program in his third year here at SC. You know, people didn't quite believe what kind of team SC had. Physically, I think they're one of the best teams still in the country. Physically. What this game has proved, it's been the first real test of the poise and the stamina and the resiliency of his team. And to be honest, his team has not really held up very well in the poise department.
His pass complete to the tight end, Johnny McWilliams, from Kyle Waholtz. And this is his third year, and third year seems to be the magic number in rebuilding a program at the college level.
Well, it is for him. I mean, third year as an assistant with John McKay, they won the national title. His third year in his first stop with SC, they won the national title. And here in the third year, he's had a lot of success. But today has definitely been a blemish so far for John Robinson and the Trojans.
SC undefeated coming into the ball game with a record of 6-0. The Irish record is 5-2. We have 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in this one, and Notre Dame is up 31-10.
Hey, you know, I really don't think you can blame it on the weather. Was it a factor? Yeah, the weather's a factor. I mean, but I don't care if you're playing in a meteor shower. If you're the team that should be the national champion, you find a way to dodge the meteor and end up winning the game.
First down, scramble after the play action fake, and the tackle at the 21-yard line. And so Waholtz ends up picking up a couple of yards on the play before Kinnon Tatum makes the tackle. And speaking of Kinnon Tatum, he made an awesome hit in the first half.
You know, we look at the score, Charlie. It's 31-10 in Notre Dame. And John Robinson, I made the point in the third quarter, John Robinson's football team has wasted opportunities for 21 points. Parker returned a punt that was called back. Twice in the first half inside the 10. John Robinson has those points. Suddenly it's 31 all.
The pass is complete back underneath the coverage as SC cannot go deep, throwing against the wind. And with the reception is Terry Barnum. Bert Berry with the tackle. Third down and 5 at the 24-yard line.
Now this is the worst case scenario for a quarterback. You've got a quarterback in Waholtz facing a defense that could care less about any kind of a fake. You're going to get nothing here but zone coverage, don't get beat deep, and pass rush.
Waholtz to throw. It is tipped and it is intercepted. Notre Dame has the football inside the 15-yard line. It is Larry Cobbins with his second interception of the ball game and his first 2 of the year.
And a Trojan quarterback, Waholtz, I believe, just picked up a personal foul for a push at the end. But here's the stunt. Here's the pass rush. Let's see who tips this thing. Bert Berry, number 13, puts the ball in the air. Cobbins gets the outfights Ronaldo Wynn for the chance at that interception.
Larry Parker and Waholtz with the tackle. Or was that Chris Miller? Chris Miller and Waholtz.
Importantly, though, really for the Irish in this situation is Waholtz gets a little extracurricular activity going on with the Irish defenders and picked up a personal foul. And that's going to put Notre Dame even closer.
So the Irish with the first down, 6:47 time remaining. They have a 31-10 lead, and their 2 running backs, Mark Edwards and Autry Denson, have combined rushing and receiving to this point 231 yards.
It's been an amazing performance so far, and just like we said it was going to happen, I think, at the start of this half, Charlie. We talked about the weather conditions.
And the turnovers.
The wind and the turnovers.
Right.
It's been the wind and the turnovers have been the major factor. That and an Irish team has been able to maintain that enthusiasm and that fire so far for 3.5 quarters.
Edwards and Denson are the running backs. And Edwards gets the carry, and he goes to the 6-yard line. So a quick 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. What an afternoon he has had. 5'10", 107, no, 6 feet even, 227 pounds from the junior from Norwood, Ohio.
Well, you talk about this offense right now, and the innovation and the great calls that came early, that is not the case in this situation. This is a situation, you know your line's on a roll, you know your fullback and halfback are on a roll. Let them go and get it.
You saw the total 79 yards rushing. He's the number 3 rusher for the Irish and their number 2 receiver. He goes to the 4-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, still a couple to go, and the clock is ticking away inside of 6 minutes. Israel Ifeani with the tackle.
You know, Charlie, if you pointed at one thing today that really made the difference, we can talk about the ugly offense, the tight ends and the fullbacks, but the execution by Ron Paulus and the Irish offense on 3rd downs. 3rd downs are really where they have won this football game. 14 of 19. I mean, the conversion rate's amazing. The fact that you get in 19 first down opportunities or 3rd down opportunities is pretty amazing also.
You're looking at over 70%, which is unreal. And here is Denson to the 1-yard line. So the freshman goes to the 1. It'll be 1st down and goal to go.
Well, I tell you what, you know what that was set up by? That was set up by a fabulous lead block by Mark Edwards. That was a short yardage defense. That was the line being physical, and that was a fullback going in and getting himself a little linebacker right there. Just a straight-on lead block. A great job by the offensive line. And what's the mystery here, Charlie? What do you think?
Oh, I would say
fullback up the middle.
44, Mark Edwards, should be involved and should have his hands on the football. And he does, and he's going to score. Again. And again. And again. Now, when Lou Holtz takes off the headset, reaches for the briefcase, is that like smoking the victory cigar? Because if you're with us in the pregame show, John Dockery visited the grave of New Rocky and someone left a victory cigar and a shot of whiskey for the great New Rocky.
You know, and John Dockery made the point that, you know, Howard Jones brought his great SC team back then in 1931 to visit that gravesite after the game. And I tell you what, this place is dripping with emotion. It's an unbelievable sight for college football, and this Irish team has played a great game offensively and defensively, and they've drawn off that emotion and that tradition.
Kevin Kopka will attempt the extra point. And this one is right down the middle.
Well, we talked about Edwards. You go involve your best player on offense today. You let your 5 linemen get him. You let your offensive fullback get that 6 points. And you go out to a 4-touchdown lead, 38-10.
Chris Miller and Anthony Volson are the deep backs on the return. The kicker falls down. That is Kevin Kopka. And SC will go to work at about their own 29-yard line, but they'll have a first down. 4:48 left into the wind, trailing by 28. Are the Trojans truly out of hope?
Well, I think what Bob Davie and his defense need to do right here is keep on the pressure. If you go into a prevent style of a defense, if you start playing soft, you're playing right into the Trojans' hands, because, you know, I don't care what the score is. You do not get soft on Keyshawn Johnson. You get soft on him, he'll break 2 tackles, and he'll go 70 yards.
USC coming into the ballgame a total of 3 turnovers on the year, and they have 3 turnovers in this ballgame, and a straight shot up the middle. This time everybody looking for Keyshawn Johnson, and instead they stay on the ground and they go with Rodney Sermons, the sophomore from Diamond Bar. Close to the first down. And Lewis, as you saw a moment ago, packing up and coming down on the field. You know, he came down, if you're with us, he came down at halftime, and he got caught in the elevator, and we wondered what would happen, and then we found out we had one of our reporters at the bottom of the elevator, the doors open, and Lou stepped out surrounded by USC assistant coaches. They had him captured in the elevator. No, that's not true. Well, they were all coming down the locker room.
So far, that might have been the only capture of the day for the Trojans against the Irish, because they haven't done much with this Irish offense.
Second down and about a foot for the first down. Little play action fake and going deep, and it is a good one-handed grab by Johnny McWilliams, the tight end. He does make the tough catch, doesn't he?
There's some concentration for you on a slip wet field. You start going down, the ball itself has got a little wet spot on one side. You one-hand it and feed it back into your body. And, you know, this is a very, very proud USC Trojan football team. They do not have any quit on them. And like I said, if you get soft as a defense, you're going to give up yards. And if you get too soft, you're going to give up points.
Gain of 16, first down, Notre Dame 47-yard line, back to the ground. And it is Sermons again, trying to get outside, and he is going to stop the clock at the 43-yard line. So he has 4. It will be second down and 6. 3:39 is the time remaining. Now, is this an offense? Does they figure that they're taking away everything deep, and that will open up some runs, and maybe you can pop one open?
Well, I think what John Robinson's coaches are doing right here is they're doing sort of the opposite. They're trying to outthink the defense. The defense is dropping back into zones. They're double covering on one side of Keyshawn Johnson. And they're just taking really basically what the defense is giving them, and that's the draw and the short dump pass.
Miller goes to the far side. Keyshawn to the near side. A post over the middle, knocked away. Goes to the tight end, Johnny McWilliams. And Lyron Cobbins knocks it away. Now, it's a good thing that he knocked it away, because if he didn't, he would have his 3rd interception of the ball game.
Yeah, he's got linebacker's hands. He's had running back hands 2 times, but that time it was linebacker hands.
Next Saturday, after the Breeders' Cup, the tradition of Notre Dame football returns to NBC Sports. And remember the last time that Boston College played here in South Bend? They pulled off a great upset. We'll be back, Boston College, Notre Dame, next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time here on NBC. Third down and 6, and back to the ground. Slipping a couple of tackles, and it's Levon Washington, and he is going to squirm to the 35-yard line, and that will be good enough for the first down, where Mark Monahan makes the tackle, but the clock continues on its inexorable march. Now 3 minutes, 27 seconds left in the ball game, and Notre Dame leading 6-0 after the first quarter, 21-7 at the half, 21-10 after 3, now leading 38-10, now with 3:20 and counting time remaining.
The Bob Davie defense, you just saw there that, you know, how outsized they were, how big the Trojans were. But we've really seen a defense that might be small in size, but huge in heart.
Play action fake, a battle for it at the 13-yard line, and it drops incomplete. Keyshawn Johnson, the intended receiver, outstanding defensive coverage for Notre Dame. And guess what? It was Alan Rossum. He has had a super ball game defensively, hasn't he?
He really has. You know, John Dockery told us all in the first quarter that plan that Bob Davie had of sort of bracketing back and front or side and side with Keyshawn Johnson. But the man that's been in the back or the front or the side or wherever you want to be, the first guy around Keyshawn Johnson today has been Alan Rossum. He has done an absolutely fabulous job. And here's a guy that's just basically learning his craft. Used to be a quarterback, only a sophomore.
Second down and 10, 3:02 time remaining. Back to the air. Lots of time, 4-man rush, standing off. Pass is complete at the 30-yard line. Tackle is made immediately. Clock keeps moving. Sermons pulls it in, and Wooden pulls him down. It'll be third down to the 30-yard line, so third down and 5.
Well, and Bob Davie and his defense will give USC all the yardage they want, slowly marching down the field as long as they stay in bounds and keep this clock running. You're not seeing very many blitzes. You're seeing some stunts up front from his defense. But really, you're seeing a linebacker core that, if you had to pick one group off that entire defense that's done the best job, might be the attacking job those linebackers have done.
SC deep over the middle. Keyshawn pulls it down. He is dropped immediately at the 16-yard line. Alan Rossum again on the tackle. Today's genuine Chevrolet players of the game: Keyshawn Johnson from USC, and of course Mark Edwards from Notre Dame. In conjunction with this program, as Chevrolet celebrates its 25th year of NCAA sponsorship, Chevrolet will contribute $2,000 to the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators for disbursement to deserving college students so that they may continue their education. So congratulations to Keyshawn and to Mark here this afternoon at Notre Dame Stadium. And then it's back to the ground with Lon Washington. Washington all the way to the 6-yard line, where Kinnon Tatum makes the tackle.
Yeah, but from the Notre Dame standpoint, right here, you've given up the yards. You got time starting going off the clock. You're right now under the minute 42nd left. Now pride starts kicking in. You see Lou Holtz talking to his young quarterback on the sideline about the plays and a couple things that might have happened today, but now pride kicks in. And this is the point where the defense really wants to bow up. They do not want to let SC into the end zone this late in the game.
Second down and 1. Washington slips. There's a fumble at the bottom, and Notre Dame has the ball. So Notre Dame takes over. That is the 4th turnover of the ball game after USC giving the ball up all season long. In their first 6 ball games, only 3 times on turnover.
And David Quist, the senior nose guard, bad exchange between the halfback and the quarterback. Washington runs. Waholz puts it on the ground right into his stomach. That sets that whole thing up, and I think this sort of like typifies John Robinson's day so far for USC. They've done so many good things right, and at the key moments have done critical things wrong.
So Notre Dame's record is going to go to 6-2, and USC's record will be going to 6-1. And now the Irish need only to run out the clock. Minute and 14 left here this afternoon, and this is the 67th meeting between Notre Dame and USC that started in 1926. Clement Stokes, the ball carrier, and he slides. And remember, of course, in the 20s and the 30s, it was stopped for 3 years during World War II.
I don't remember the 20s and 30s.
I can tell you all about those. I have a great memory of that time span. And they were going back and forth across the country on trains, and then they would stop and get off at practice, going both ways, and a lot of fans would join them. It was the beginning of a great rivalry that certainly has continued here this afternoon. John Spickelmeyer is the injured player. In total offense, is that right? Total offense, Southern California has 379. Notre Dame has 379. Total offense side by side.
But I tell you what, Lou Holtz's Irish offense had a lot better ugly yards than USC. USC got the style yards out of Keyshawn Johnson and the running backs, but Notre Dame got the ugly yards out of Mark Edwards out of the fullback position, Popovich at the tight end position, and when they needed it, kind of the ugly positive yards from Ron Paulus, and a few times he actually ran the ball successfully.
And you saw the dejection of John Michaels, the offensive tackle on the bench for USC.
A real challenge for John Robinson and his staff coming up in the weeks to come now is to refocus and remotivate this USC Trojan football team. A football team that was thinking national championship, you now have to refocus them down to think Rose Bowl, where they'll be able to meet a possibly undefeated Ohio State Buckeye team.
Tom Krug is now the quarterback for Notre Dame, and of course his job is only to hand off the ball and to run out the clock, 31 and counting, to take the countdown. And the numbers will only make it official as Notre Dame has won this ballgame. And the final score is going to read the Irish of Notre Dame 38 and USC 10.
An excellent combination job, Charlie. A great emotional performance by these young athletes for Notre Dame. And Lou Holtz and his coaching staff literally and figuratively out-coached John Robinson's staff from SC.
Let's go down to John Dockery.
John Robinson, quick comment, John. I know you had high expectations.
I have. We just didn't play very well.
All right, Dockery will try and get Lou Holtz.
Yes, I'm with Lou Holtz now.
Come on.
Thank you, Coach. What does a win like this mean to this team on this day?
Well, I think that we've come back from adversity, but this was a great win. I'm happy for our seniors. I'm happy for our football team. We fought hard all year. We've lost 2 close ones, but I'm real proud of our team. We beat a very good Southern Cal team.
You know, I've been with the Irish a lot of years. I don't think I've seen more creative offense from you.
We did some different things, but I want to tell you, when you're up there, you're a lot more gambling, more wide open than you can see, but we just felt we had to do it to keep them off balance. Great job. They all did. Our defense, and we ran a little bit more option than we have, and we just thank God to win the game. We're happy for our fans.
Congratulations to you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, the final score is Notre Dame 38 and USC 10. And right now, for Randy Cross, I'm Charlie Jones. That wraps it up here. Let's go to Greg Gumbel, our studio in New York City. Greg, you could have the shot.